Hey, good evening. We are playing a game of In the Light of a Setting Sun, a Western that I backed on Kickstarter. Is originally based on the In the Light of a Ghost Star by Nate Tremay. The title of this adventure is Angel's Dance. Our group has been hired to transport different supply wagons to a coastline town named Angel's Dance. They're working for the Muerchison Mercantile Company. Once there, maybe you can relax for a couple days before returning for your next job. It seems like a pretty quiet and somber town, especially with all the soldiers that you see on the street patrolling the street as you arrive and drop off the supply wagons. Nothing better than a bottle of whiskey or a hot bath at the hotel after your long, dusty expedition. You notice as you come into the town, there are two stone statues on the street there. They appear to be of two females. One of them would probably be an older teen. The other one would probably be a younger teen, maybe 10 or 11. The other one, 18 or 19, of these two girls. And they have their arms open up, looking up at the sky. And there's an inscription that says, "Welcome to Angel's Dance." As you come into town and make your way and drop off the merchant wagons, Mike, if you'll start me off about who you're going to be playing and your thoughts as you enter this small coastal town.
Owen is a 30-year-old. He doesn't look like your standard gunslinger in that. He's basically a farmer that's down on his luck. He has taken this job because the drought is literally killing him. And he left behind his wife and his son to stay on the land, and he's going to see if he can make a few pennies to get himself above water again, or at least get some water on his dry little farm that he has. He's looking forward to this. He's not the rough and tumble type, so basically he's the clean cut, going to church in a Sunday best type of fellow. And that's pretty much Owen.
Yep, and as you come into this new town of Angel's Dance, if you'll roll your D20 for your renown die, let me know what you get.
That's a 2.
Ooh, so close. Yep, Owen almost started out on a bad foot, but he's able to make it on in. Crystal, if you'll tell me about who you're going to be playing as you come into this town, and you see the soldiers covering this town and drop off your stuff, what you're thinking.
As we come into this town, my character first sees the girls that you're talking about that are like holding the sign or whatnot, and he gets excited and says, "There you go, right there. This town knows how to greet a fella. You know what I'm saying?" And he kind of ribbing at one of his crew as he says this. He has a rifle slung over his shoulder in a kind of sloppy manner, and he wears Colts on his belt loop, but he carries it like right in front of his crotch, like the baller that he is. Where he comes from, people call him Ellis the Brains Done.
All right, roll your renown die for me.
All right, let's see. 16.
All right. Yep, Ellis comes on in with their Owen on one of the wagons. And we'll jump over to you, Daniel, if you tell me about who you're playing as you enter this Angel's Dance.
Moving in with the group is a young, maybe young 20s woman. She's been on the trail, of course, with the rest of the cowboys as it would be. So she's dressed in the what might be considered men's clothes, with a revolver at her side and a large Bowie knife on her hip. Big hat, kind of keeping the sun out of her face. But unlike maybe many of the women that go out on the trail, she doesn't try to disguise or hide herself. So she's got her hair down, blowing in the wind. She comes in, looks around, and she's trying to eyeball the closest place where she can get a nice, strong whiskey and a bath. And that is Molly Smith.
All right. If you'll make a renown check for me as you enter.
Okay. 12.
Yep. Molly is looking around and maybe see what some of the more prominent buildings are in this small western coastal town. And we'll jump over to you, Nikki, if you can tell me about who you're going to be playing.
Coming in with the group in his distinctive red scarf that he's very rarely without, we see he's in about his late 20s, and he is very cocky. He is very pretty, and he knows it. And he is equally excited for whiskey and women. And he is always saying things like, I like women like I like my whiskey, smoky and expensive. And I am playing Rufus Nash.
All right, Rufus, we'll see how that plays out. What if you'll make a renown check for us?
6.
All right. And last but not least, in the Mercantile's guard is Jan. If you tell me about who you're going to be playing.
You see a cowpoke wearing a worn, dusty, light brown hat with a matching leather vest over a sweat-stained white shirt. Round his neck hangs a faded red kerchief. Round his hips hang 2 holsters filled with his iron Colt Dragoon revolver pistol. He also has a rifle holster slung across his back. You recognize the rifle to be a Remington. The feller's got a dark mustache and a goatee. Upon a closer look, you're sure he's one of them Chinamen. He must have gotten himself out of the railroad camp, since I hear some of them folks got blown up to pieces while trying to dynamite the cliffside. This feller now calls himself Cactus Jimmy. How he came to own them expensive guns, you just don't know. He looks pretty nervous as he rides into the town. I'm going to be playing Cactus Jimmy.
All right. If you'll make a renown die check.
I got 12.
As you all enter and you start dropping off the deal, there's several things that are prominent that you notice. The first thing at the mention of Cactus Jimmy and his nationality, you do see a lot of Chinese immigrants that are moving up and around through the town here. Most of them appear to be very dust covered and dirty, like they've been at some type of hard work and hard labor. Most of them are staying to themselves and maneuver in and out. You notice a lot of the uniformed soldiers are, some of them are sneering and jeering at them and you know, pointing at them and stuff, and maybe even giving some of them orders as they move back and forth. You will notice that. You notice 3 prominent buildings in this town. One of them is a bank, has the name on it, the Western Range Bank. You notice a very large, also appears to be a 3-story hotel, Hannaby's Hotel. And the last place, of course, is the watering hole. There's an old painted sign outside that says Sampson's Watering Hole, and you see there's quite a bit of traffic going in and out of it. The bank appears to be a fairly small building, but you can tell it's probably newer and very well kept. The hotel also seems almost pristine as you drop your stuff off at the Mercantile there on the edge of the tracks.
Ellis grabs his belt and says, "What do you think, Miss Smith? Do you like them soldier types, or do you like someone who's a bit more naughty?" And he kind of makes his gun wiggle back and forth a little bit.
Molly looks directly through him and she says, looks like there's a canteen over there. And then she kicks her horse and moves towards the canteen.
All right, Molly, you're heading to the Samson's watering hole, it appears.
Ellis kind of ribs Rufus a little bit and says, "Man, she's totally into me. You can tell it. You can see it in her eyes."
Oh, I'm sure she is. And he will kind of roll his eyes and head off to get some whiskey also at the canteen.
All right. What about the rest of our crew? Anything y'all would like to do as you're kind of noticing this activity going on in this town?
Ellis will follow the group to the bar.
Jimmy pulls down his hat, hiding his face, and underneath the rim, his eyes are shifting around, looking around the place, making sure no one recognizes him.
Yeah, Owen will make his way to the watering hole too.
All right. You make your way to the watering hole, all of you. As you enter, Rufus, the first thing that catches your eye as you enter is this woman. She doesn't have her pistol out, but she's standing up against the edge of the bar there, dressed fairly nice and almost seductively with this hat on. And she's sitting there, has a bottle of whiskey, and the glass is almost empty. When you come walking in, she looks at you and just kind of gives you almost a sly smile. She doesn't really be paying attention to any of the rest of them, though.
Okay. And Rufus will walk over to her and say, "Well, hello, darling. I see you need a refill on your drink there. Can I buy you a drink?"
Well, I've already bought the bottle myself. How about I give you one?
"I'll get you next time then, and much obliged." And he will take some whiskey or whatever's in the bottle.
She reaches over across the bar without even asking the barkeep and grabs another shot glass. And she fills yours almost up to the top, where it's almost about to spill over. She says, "That'll be a start, I guess."
This will be delicious. We've just come in off a long, dusty trail. A lot of soldiers in this town. And he'll toss the whiskey back.
Yeah, and I try my best to steer clear of them because some of them like to get a little rowdy, and some of them are downright ornery, if you know where I'm coming from.
I think I catch your drift. How about a refill on that whiskey?
Yep, and she will take the refill and begin conversation with you. And the rest of you, as you maneuver around and see, you see quite a few of the saloon girls take note of you as you maneuver in. And Cactus Jimmy, this redheaded one, comes walking up to you and she goes, "You're not one of the workers?"
No, ma'am. And then he just pulls down his hat to hide his face, and he turns around and slinks away.
When you slink away, you bump in to one of the soldiers. He turns and he looks at you. You can see on his face, that he's very well into his bottle. He looks at you and he goes, "You ain't from around here, I don't guess, because you're not wearing laborer's clothes."
No, sir. I'm no laborer. I'm here with the wagon. Those folks are my company.
When you bump into me again like that, you'll be out of the mine with the rest of them, boy.
I am so sorry, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And he turns back around to the table there where a couple more of the soldiers are, they're eyeing you, but they haven't said anything.
Yeah, he carefully turns and goes, sits next to Rufus Nash.
You walk up to where Rufus is there with the lady that he's speaking to. The redheaded saloon girl being scoffed by you turns her attention and she looks over towards Owen and walks up to Owen and she goes, "Well, you're new in town too, huh, boy?"
Oh, don't pay no mind to me. I'm not interested in what you're peddling there, girl. So, just happily married. Okay.
Huh,
So,
you won't even buy a poor lady a drink?
well, well, that's. Would you like some water? But I'm sure it's just as expensive as everything else here.
Oh, well, it is spring water.
He goes, well, I probably got enough for spring water. But if you want some spring water, you can have it on me.
Well, give me your dollar and I'll go get a glass.
Yeah. He lifts out of his pocket and a bunch of dust rolls out with it. This old worn dollar that's there. Nothing else jingles in his pocket as he just kind of hands it over and looks a little bit sheepish, and he goes, I hope it's a good glass. Yeah, why don't you get two so we can split it?
Oh, well, thank you, darling. I'll be right back. And you see her run over to the bar. Molly, you notice as you've come in, some of the soldiers have taken notice at you at the way you're dressed and everything, and they take notice, and some of them actually give you a nod, and a couple of them smile, but none of them approach you or say anything. You notice that the clientele mostly seems to be soldiers. You see like probably some cowhands also, but most of the people in here are soldiers. You do not see any of the Chinese immigrants. The man behind the bar is an older man, very thin and wiry, probably in his mid 60s, you would think.
Oh, so she'll tip her hat politely to the soldier boys, and she'll say, "Hey, Ellis, why don't you get us a bottle?" And she's gonna head towards is there anybody gambling?
There is not. That's one thing you notice. It appears to be, unless it's just people with some of the soldiers themselves, but you notice it appears to be no actual setup of gambling at all.
Okay. Well, she's gonna sit down at a table if there's one available. And then she's gonna just take out like a deck of cards and start shuffling it.
Yep, you can do that.
Good golly, Miss Molly, you just got the key to my heart. Let me go get them drinks for us. And Ellis will shuffle on over to the bar.
Ellis, you make your way up to the bar, and as you do, this other saloon girl, blonde-headed, she turns and bumps into you, and she sees you, and she goes, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry."
Well, that's just fine there. I'd rather have a pretty little thing like you bumping into me rather than one of them ugly soldier boys. You know what I'm saying now?
When you say that, one of the soldier boys jumps up from the table and charges straight towards you and is fixing to try to jump you. Roll a d6 for me, Ellis.
All right. Just one?
Yep, just a d6. 1d6.
4.
All right. He had a 5. Low goes first. So what would you like to do?
Oh, Low goes first?
Yep.
He's charging right at me. I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Yeah, because it looks like it looks like what he's trying to do is to grab you and just like push you and ram you into probably the bar itself is what he's probably trying to do.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna do anything like that to Ellis. He's gonna punch him in the face. So
all right,
what I gotta do?
Test your it will be your iron because it's a melee unarmed strike.
There's 3d6 under my iron.
Yep, 3d6.
I made it 7 out of 13.
All right, damage I believe was 1 point is what the creator told me, but I'm going to do a D3, so just roll a D3 for unarmed strike.
Let me add a dice here real quick. All right. D3. Okay. 1. So yeah. So he rushes up at Ellis, and Ellis says like, "Whoa there, partner!" and pop him right in the nose.
Yeah, you pop him in the nose. As you do that, you see one of the soldier guys that was sitting at a table with him. You can tell he probably has stripes on his sleeve that indicate some type of rank. He jumps up from the table and runs, and it appears he's running straight towards you, but he runs over and you see him reach and grab the soldier around the neck, and he goes, "No, not now, boy, not now," and starts pulling him back. And he looks at you and he goes, "We'll let that one slide since he instigated it."
Appreciate it, Ellis says, kind of tilts his hat a little bit. Had just a little smug smile on his face.
Would anyone else make any comment or any reaction as you see all this go down?
I would ask the lady I'm drinking with, darling, are they always this touchy?
Well, like I told you, you have to be careful with these soldier guys. They seem to think they run the town most days.
Well, I'll try to be careful, but Ellis, he has more dirt on him than he has brains in his head, so it doesn't surprise me that he's the first one of us to get in a scuffle here. What is your name? I am being so rude. I forgot to ask your name, darling.
Oh, well, you could, no, call me Misty. I'm Misty like the morning dew.
Well, that is a lovely name. I'm Rufus Nash. So that's what he does.
Well, what brings you in town here, Rufus?
We were hired by some merchants to protect the caravan, their wagon train. And we are here now to get some rest and relaxation before we set out on another job.
Now, how long are you going to be in town?
A few days, probably.
Yeah, I've got to head out in a couple of days. I'm heading on up the coastline to my sister. Her and her husband own a ranch up there, and I'm going up to stay with them for a little while just to get a new scenery. But I'm gonna head on back to the hotel now. Maybe you should meet me here tomorrow for a drink if you like.
Meet here. Well, about what time would you say, Misty?
Well, let's say after lunch. We don't want to disturb the soldiers in their lunch hour.
Well, that sounds right nice. I'll look forward to that very much. And he gives her a wink and a smile.
And she pushes the bottle. You see the bottle is probably about half filled that she said she bought. She pushes it over and says, "Well, maybe you and your friends can finish that off for me."
Much obliged. And let me buy you something when we meet here tomorrow.
That sounds perfect. I'll see you tomorrow, and Rufus.
See you tomorrow, Misty. And he'll take the bottle of whiskey and a couple glasses and sit down by Molly.
Did you check to make sure you still have your wallet?
He did not. Like I said, he's pretty confident in his appearance, so he just thinks she likes him.
She smiles when she says
that. Ellis is going to turn back to the blonde that he bumped into originally. He's going to say, "Now, as I was saying, I'm sorry about bumping into you, miss. Let me buy you a drink to make up for it. And we might be talking again later." He'll kind of talk to her. He'll kind of wink at her, and he gets the barman to, attention and says, like, "Get this lady a drink. And also, we're going to be drinking over here."
You say that to her in the barkeep, and she goes, "Well, thank you, sir. I do drink the finest. Harry, I believe, pour me a cup of the finest. He says he can afford it."
Go right ahead, Harry. You pour her a glass of the finest like she has.
You see him reach way back under the bar and pulls out this bottle that is, about 3/4 full. And he says, "Well, first I need to see the money, young fella. You are new to town, and I don't know you, but this stuff is about $3 a glass. Are you sure you got that?"
Don't you worry, partner. Don't you question me and my money now. I asked you to get her a glass of the finest. I wouldn't ask you to do something I couldn't afford.
Well, I asked you to put your money up on the bar there for me to look at first too.
Ellis will. Ellis kind of looks at him slyly. He reaches down into his billfold and pulls out a $20 bill and slaps it on the table.
Well, let me get you some change there.
Don't you worry about it. Like I said, partner, we're going to be drinking over this table. You just give me back what you owe me when the night's through.
As that conversation goes on, the swinging doors to the Samson's watering hole opens, and you see this figure walk in. You can tell he's probably some mountain man or some wanderer or something. As he comes walking in, he stops about 6 feet in the deal though, and he looks and sees the amount of everybody, and he glances quickly over you all, and he looks and just sneers at the soldiers, and he turns around to walk out. And the one that had the stripes on his sleeves, the soldier says, "We done told you once, you crazy fool, not to come back in here." He continues to walk out the door and exits and does not come back. All the soldiers start laughing.
Owen will get up and follow him out.
All right. You go out and you see he's just meandering. You see a mule tied up with some supplies on it that probably he just bought, come into town to buy. But he's just kind of meandering down the sidewalk and seems to have a very perplexed look on his face as he sees you come out.
I'll say, "Hey, you fella, is there something that you want? I mean, I can get it for you and I can bring it out if you want."
"Well, I'm Bobcat Stevens. I'm a hunter and a trapper down here on the coastline, and I'm friends to the Indians too. And well, the only thing I want is those soldiers to pack up and leave town, but I don't look like it's going to happen anytime soon."
"Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Bobcat. You can call me Jolly." He goes, "Yeah, they seem like quite a rough group here. Have they been roughing people up ever since they've been here, or what?"
He approaches you even closer where, his voice is not as booming, and he lowers it some and he goes, "Well, they come into town a few months ago and they brought well, we already had some of those Chinese folks here that were, had immigrated over and trying to find jobs and do things here on the coast, but they brought some with them too, and they said they're here on the order of the government, that they're going up to the old silver mine that's up there on the edge of the reservation of the Indians. And the old silver mine's been closed for a long time. It catered in and caved and cratered in on a bunch of folks, and might near killed a lot, but luckily they rescued most of them. But those soldiers say that the government sent them back out here to open that mine up, but I don't believe them. I think I think they're deserters. I think they're doing it themselves, and nobody knows about it out here. We're kind of secluded here, away from the big city. But
Wait a minute. You think these guys are deserters?
well, now, I ain't got no proof. I just know they're very they're nefarious men. If you get what I'm saying, they're not the kind, gentle souls that most soldiers are.
He said, "Oh, well, if these guys aren't on the up and up, who's the law around here then?"
Well, we've got a sheriff, but he left town a few days ago and said he was going up in the hills to look for some bank robber or something. I don't know. There's supposed to be this woman bank robber that's coming through this area and hiding out somewhere. But I don't know. We don't get. I don't know. I stay away from town as much as I can, but he's been gone a few days, and he's not going to do anything. He's not about to question the government.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a tough row to hoe. You know, can, can I get you anything? I mean, I hate to see someone get it turned away that needs something. I got nothing to
Well,
give, but I can give you my kindness. I can give you whatever help.
I saw when I was getting my supplies, I saw you come in with a group of people. There is something I need, but you don't know me, fella, and I don't know you, but I'm going to confide in you something. These soldiers are up to no good. I think they killed some of the Indians. Some of the Indians have come up missing. And I think these soldiers killed them, and there's going to be an uprising if I don't do something to stop it. Like I say, I'm friends to the Indians, and I'm friends to a lot of people, but I think what we need to do, but I can't do it by myself, is well, I've got some dynamite. What I want to do is when they bring those Chinese fellows in from the mine every day, they're making them do that hard labor up there to dig this mine out. Well, they only leave like 2 guards out there at night at the old mine. Well, I want to sneak up and knock those guards out. And if I dynamite that place and seal it back in, well, there ain't nobody going back in that mine ever again. And yeah, I know that sounds awful, mister, but
It
yeah, you
does
got to,
sound awful.
well, you got to think of the consequences now. I'm telling you, those Indians are getting pretty restless. And if they think these soldier boys killed some of their people, well, it's going to be worse than it was back in 47.
Yeah, well, okay. So you say that, when are you going to do this?
Well, I need some help. I can set the dynamite and all that myself. I know how to do all that, but I need some help to sneak up there at night and knock those guards out. And we don't want to hurt them too bad. Just knock them out. We can pull them away. We don't want to hurt them at all. Just pull them away from the mine and let me do what I need to do one night.
Well, I'm just a mule skinner, you know, but I do. I mean, a couple of the guys that I rode in with, they might be able to help. Is there some
Yeah,
place I can meet you on the outside of town?
yeah. I can tell some of them boys with you seem to be pretty ornery souls. I can tell a man's soul. I tell you what, you meet me out. You need to rest up a day or so. In 2 days' time, early one morning, you meet me out here on the outskirts of town. You go on out, not the way you come in now, on further through town here. You go out there, and there's a little fork in the road there. You meet me. There's like a cairn of stones there, and you meet me right there early the second morning.
So okay, I'll see what I can do. If we're not on the job, I'll try to be there.
Well, y'all just help me, and I promise you're doing the right thing. I know a man's soul, and these soldier boys have got good souls.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open. It's good to meet you, Bobcat. Was it?
Just call me Bobcat.
Good to meet you, Bobcat.
He turns and unhitches his mule from the post and slowly makes his way out of town.
So while that was going on, if possible, like once he left, Molly would want to get up and walk up to those soldiers. You know, the one that seems to have some rank. She'll say, "Excuse me, that man. He didn't look like he was very civilized. Is there problems in this town? Is it dangerous?"
He tips his hat and he goes, "I'm Sergeant Smith with the army, but yeah, the man's crazy. He lives out there in the hills, and I think he's trying to get those Indians roused up against us again. You know, we've come in town. You know, the government sent us here to open up the old silver mine again, and that crazy old fool is trying to get the Indians riled up against us. And well, you know what happens? We don't need that going on again. But he's not right in the head."
Oh, okay. Well, you all look very competent, so I feel safe with you guys around.
Well, thank you, Miss. I can assure you, with us here, you ain't got no problems to worry about.
Thank you. And then she'll go back to the table. So, Rufus, you want to gamble?
Well, sure, I'll play a few hands.
Yeah, once Ellis sits back down, he's definitely going to be into getting a game of poker started.
Should we invite
Hopefully
Jimmy?
with some other people. I mean, but he'll take your money if you don't want it. If you don't want it, I'll take your money all the same.
You want to gamble, you say?
Just a friendly game.
Jimmy.
Deal me in. I will play too.
They play cards where you're from, Jimmy.
We play mahjong and other stuff.
I'm not fooling with that book.
I've never heard of nothing fancy like that. But I can teach you a little Texas Hold'em. How about that?
Sure. I don't think I know how to play. And he winks at Rufus.
Rufus hides a smile behind his hand.
Say, Rufus, it's the first time you didn't disappear with the woman that smiled at you.
I think she's a different class of woman than the type I usually disappear with. I might actually want to have a conversation with that one.
Well, that's the first time. I will sit down and play this game. You will teach me how to play, right, Ellis?
Hey, man, what can I do? We're hombres now. Been on that Dutch trail together.
Well,
Now, ante is $1.
all right.
$1. You got some rich taste there.
I'm sorry. Is that a little too much for the lady? All right, I'll lower it down a little bit. How about a dime?
Well, because you're teaching me how to play this game, I would put down $1.
All right.
Your funeral.
Ellis, when you say that about $1, you hear a whoop hit the table, and you look down. There's a big silver coin laying down. You look up and you see one of the soldiers standing there. And this guy's older. He's probably in his mid-50s. His uniform's kind of disheveled and unbuttoned. But you tell he's very clear-eyed. I mean, you tell he hasn't been drinking much. Very short, close-cropped gray hair. And he goes, well, since I'm not on duty, and the sergeant said I could, can I join your game too?
Hell yeah, partner. Take a seat right on there.
More the merrier.
Jimmy
Well,
nods.
thank you. You can call me Two-Pot. I'm kind of I'm the cook.
Oh.
And I only need 2 pots every time I cook.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a
And he
mighty
starts
fine
he
skill
starts
to have.
laughing like all of you would get the joke.
Jimmy blinks.
Molly does the polite laugh, and then she actually she's shuffling and she stops, and then she says, well, she slides it across and she says, new guy gets the cut, I guess.
Ellis scratches his head like he missed the joke, but he's kind of used to it, so he shrugs it off.
Tony, does Rufus have his money? I should ask before I play poker.
Oh yeah, you got your money.
Okay. Making sure that she didn't actually steal my money. So
You got
Be
your money.
clear, I gave my 20 to the bartender, so.
Owen will walk back in and he'll approach the table and say, hey, do you guys mind if I just spectate?
oh, you can watch, Jolly.
Yeah, Jolly, you haven't been the best luck. Go stand next to Ellis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't bring him over here to me.
Well, how about if I just take a couple steps backwards then? I mean, I won't play tight, but
All right.
yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just, over by Ellis.
Yeah, have a seat. Just not, scoot back a little bit, though.
I don't need a seat. I could stand. I mean, I know you guys want a full table. And since I'm not in on this, I'll just stand. But I didn't want you to be uncomfortable with me standing around.
Everyone that's in the game, roll a d20, no modifiers, low wins. We'll stick with low as this game goes, and low wins.
All right.
I had an
Oh, boy.
18.
Nat
Well,
one.
I got
Boom.
9.
Hell yes.
Wow.
Well,
12.
unless somebody ties Ellis with the nat 1, Ellis, you claim the pot.
Wow.
Nice.
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 Jimmy says, "Oh, so that's how you play."
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Jimmy. You'll get the hang of it. Just remember, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to let it ride.
Is that
How
how
do
it
you know
goes?
when to do that?
You gotta know. You gotta know how to do it.
But that
You gotta
doesn't tell
learn,
me
Jimmy. You'll
anything.
learn. You'll learn. Don't worry about it. He pats Jimmy on the back.
All right. Here's another $1. He puts the $1 on the table.
Yep, the soldier will put another dollar in for round 2.
Oh boy.
I'll
All
play
right.
another hand. One more hand at least.
Yeah, let's do this one more time.
Yep, one number d20, low roll. I had a 12.
15.
4.
Not 20.
Jimmy, maybe you should stick with the mahjong.
You folded deuce aces? Why would you fold deuce aces?
Oh, well, I just didn't know what to do. You're teaching me how to play this game.
Rufus, it looks like you win this round.
All right then.
Jimmy, I'll just stand on the other side of the table for you.
You start to move off Owen, and Rufus starts kind of dragging his winnings in. The swinging doors pop open. You look up and you see another one of the soldiers enter. This guy's wearing a billed cap, and he has a saber at his side. You can see the epaulets up on his deal to indicate he's some type of officer rank as he comes walking in. And he very weather worn. I mean, you think he's probably no older than late 20s, but he looks much, much older than that. He walks in and he looks at the sergeant and you hear him bellow out, go, "It's time, Sergeant, to get the men back to their station." The sergeant jumps up, "Yes, sir," and salutes him. This officer walks over to the bar, points at the bartender. The bartender sets up a shot glass, fills it up. The officer downs it real quick, turns around and walks back out. He doesn't pay any attention to anyone else in there. And you see the sergeant start rounding up his men to leave.
Is Two-Pot leaving as well?
Yeah, he goes, "Well, Sergeant calls. I got to go too."
This
All right.
doesn't have anything to do with the Indian uprising, does it?
Well, the lieutenant, he's pretty particular about giving us some free time. And when he says it's time to get back to work, we don't ask no questions. It's all about discipline.
Well, what have you guys been working on?
Well, like I say, we're going to open up that old mine. The government sent us in here to open up that mine. There's an old silver mine out of town here, kind of right on the edge of the Indian reservation. And we've got the papers and stuff. We're going to open it back up. And they sent in and paid all these Chinese laborers to help us. But that's what we're mainly doing.
Oh, so you're not here because of the Indians then?
Well, we ain't had no trouble with the Indians, no. But I mean, I don't think they much too like us being there right on the edge of the reservation. But no, I hadn't had any trouble with them.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Makes me sleep a little better at night.
Well, mighty fine. Thanks for taking my money there. I hope you spend it well.
No worries about
Appreciate
that.
it. Alex gives him a hat tilt.
Thank you, Two-Pot, for playing the game with us.
After they all leave, you see that there's only like 4 other people in here. The 2 saloon girls. You see the older man behind the bar. And you see one older, more distinguished, the way he's dressed, wearing a kind of a suit and stuff. He's been over the corner by himself, and it appears that he's been like eating a plate of food and all that, and has a cold draft beer in a mug there. But besides that, the only ones in there is you and the employees at this point.
Jimmy's gonna get up.
Ellis, oh,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So Jimmy's gonna get up, stretch himself, and head out the saloon, out into the streets.
Hey, Jimmy, before you go, I think there's something you gotta hear.
Yes, Owen, do you need me for something?
He said, yeah, well, I mean, he goes, you might want to just keep an eye out because I don't think these, I mean, I was talking with this mountain man guy. His name is Bobcat. He said that these soldiers aren't really soldiers. He thinks they're deserters and that there's something else going on up at the mine.
Yeah, Owen, something does not look right. I want to talk to some of the people that I saw out there.
Yeah. Sheriff's been gone too for a while. So I don't know what's going on around here. And I know I can trust you. So
Yeah, Owen, you want to come with me outside just in case?
sure.
Sounds good. Yeah, so Jimmy's gonna head out there if possible, and he's gonna try to look for one of those Chinese folks.
Yep. Okay. Cactus Jimmy and Owen, y'all are going back outside. You see, most of the soldiers are heading back. Appears to be out of town. I mean, they're all gathering up. Some of them on horseback, and a couple of them have mounted up in some wagons and leaving back out of town.
Ellis is gonna get up from the table and like kind of stretch a little bit. He's gonna grab his belt and he's gonna say, "Well, I reckon it's about time we get some rest. What do you say?" And he kind of looks at Molly and like wiggles his gun a little bit.
Yeah, you get some rest. She's gonna slide the bottle close to herself and pour herself another drink.
All right.
Oh, well, dang, it was worth a try. And Ellis will whistle over at the blonde girl and then like point upstairs and start headed that way.
She reaches you about halfway up the stairs and grabs you on the shoulder, and she goes, "How much did you win?"
Ellis will look at her and say, "Enough to buy you a few more fancy drinks in the morning."
"Well, let's go, darling." And she'll go up. The blonde-headed girl will go up the stairs with you. Y'all notice the well-dressed man in the corner. He finishes his plate of food and drinks about half of the mug, and he picks it up and takes it over, sets it on the bar, and he says, well, thank you, Harry. I'll see you tomorrow." And he curtsies and nods at y'all to say hello and continues outside unless somebody spoke to him.
Yeah. So if he looks at Molly will tip her hat and she'll say, "Oh, good evening to you."
Yep, and he'll just reply back and continue out. So everybody inside now is just employees and y'all that stayed inside for right now.
I think Rufus is going to go over to the hotel.
Yep, you're going to make your way over to Hannaby's, okay?
Yep.
And garner some rooms for the group.
Yep.
I guess everybody except of course Ellis. It seems he's found his own room.
Yeah, if Rufus gets up to go, I'll go with.
So out there on the street, I mean, was Jimmy able to leave that saloon and look for one of those
Jimmy,
Chinamen?
you and Owen, this is exactly what you discover when you go out there. You see a couple of Chinese immigrants that you can go and talk to. But as you both make your way to talk to them, both of you test your wits, 3d6 against your wits, and let me know if either of you pass.
I passed by one.
All right. What about Owen?
I rolled the same. Does that pass?
Nope, that's a fail, then. It's got to be under.
Gotta be
all
under.
Right, good enough. Cactus Jimmy, you walk by and you see on the edge of a building, like a poster board of different posters and stuff. You look up and you see, you double catch because you've seen this woman before, and you see a wanted poster there, and you recognize the woman that was in the bar talking to Rufus. and you see the name wanted, Crackshot Christine, bank robbery, $500 reward.
Jimmy says, Owen, do you see that picture? That's the same woman that we saw in the saloon talking to
What?
Rufus. Look, there's
Shoot.
$500 of bounty on her.
Wow. I could use $500, or at least 250. Well,
But
what
you
is that
said,
if we all split it?
well, that is at least 100 each, right?
Well, I could do really well with that.
But who do we turn her over to? We have to take her to the next town. You told us that the sheriff is not in town.
Yeah, the sheriff, he went out. He was trying to hunt down this robber woman. I think that's what Bobcat had said. So I wonder. He's out on the trail following her, and she's in the she's right there in the saloon.
So what should we do? Just shoot her down?
Well, can't we just tie her up or something? I mean, you can shoot her down if you want, but I mean,
Right.
I can't be part of that. It's just murder.
Yeah, I don't like to shoot women. That is not a right way.
I mean, I'd say we get her to justice and we get her a trial. And, you know, I don't know if we can just shoot her down in cold blood. I mean, I can't do that, Jimmy.
I go up to the poster and take a look at it. Does it say dead or alive, or
It
how
doesn't
does
say. It just says it's very vague. You can tell it's back from back further, kind of. You would know the city back area you come from. It just says wanted, and it says a crackshot Christine, a bank robbery, $500 reward.
Yeah, he's gonna go up there and take the poster off.
Yeah, you can remove it without any trouble.
Yep, and he's gonna crumple it up and put it into his pouch, and say, "Let's go and tell the other guys, Owen."
And if you want to approach a couple of the immigrants there and speak to them, you could. There's like a middle-aged man and woman that appear to be walking down the street there close to where you're at.
Yeah, as Jimmy passes by those folks, he says, "Hello," but they look at him, funny because he doesn't sound as if he's actually fluent in Chinese.
Do you say it in Chinese or are you going to speak in English?
He's gonna look at him and speak in Chinese, but he has a very odd accent when he speaks in
All
Chinese.
right. Yeah, they both look at you, and the woman looks at her husband and says something, and you don't catch exactly what she says. It's so quick. Maybe your Chinese is off a little bit, but he looks at you and says back to you, and he goes, "What are you doing in this dreadful town?"
Well, I am here with some of my fellas, and we're here protecting a wagon train. What about you folks?
We are trying to get to San Francisco for work there and to open up a shop. We stopped along the way, and the soldiers have taken most of the young men and are working them at a mine. The government has the government is supposed to be paying them, but they've got no wages yet.
You see Jimmy trying very hard to try to make out what he's saying. Obviously, Jimmy is not Chinese. I mean, he's one of those East Asian folks, but he's not Chinese. So he's trying to understand, and he's able to barely make out what he's saying. So he says, "So tell me, you have been brought here to do exactly what? Are you not here with the railroad people?"
Well, we come through just passing through, and when we got here, the soldiers were already here, and they some of the people we were with, they inducted them and saying the government is forcing them to use them at the mine, labor at the mine, and that they're supposed to be paying them, but the young men have not seen any type of paycheck from the government. And the soldier captain, he keeps saying that they're waiting on the checks to come.
Huh. That doesn't sound right. Well, maybe you should talk to them more. Demand that you get the money, but I suppose that would not work out very well. They would just simply beat you.
Some of these soldiers are very mean to us, but some are kind.
You say that you're headed to Silver Mine?
Yes, that they are opening up an old silver mine outside of town here in the hills.
You aren't working at night, are you?
Oh no, the soldiers just left now to bring the employees back. It's getting late in the afternoon, so they went to bring them back.
Oh, good. So nobody would be in the mine at night.
Oh no, they don't work the mine at night.
Well, that's good to know.
Well, back at the railroad, they used to have us work until midnight, sometimes even until past midnight. And he just nods at Owen.
When did I learn Chinese?
Well, I mean, Jimmy would be translating.
Owen is not who he pretends to be.
In broken Chinese. He's like Kane from Kung Fu.
Owen is like a James Bond spy from like the future.
It's just thinking, wow, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, if you didn't have any more questions for him, Cactus, say would wish you bid you good well then.
All right.
Say Bobcat said he was gonna blow up the mine in 2 days.
They will probably blow up those Chinese folks too.
No, he's gonna do it at night. And he's looking for help. He figured that we might be able to help him out. Because
I don't know. If we do that, if we help that person, then the soldiers will be all over us. They will try to kill us for interfering in their affairs.
Yeah, but they're not really soldiers. They're just telling everybody that they're soldiers. They're deserters. That's what Bobcat said.
I don't know. Well, we got a job to do. We have to take the nation delves into the troubles unless we really have to.
Cactus, you would know, and all of you would know, you have about a 4-day layover here before you have to get back on the road. I mean, this is when you come in, this is the end of pretty much day one, winding up, and you would know you have about 3 more days before you have to head out.
I suppose since we have 3 more days or so, we could take a look at returning this bounty.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but let's tell the other guys and find out what they think.
Yeah. And we should probably tell them about what Bobcat said too, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. He seemed like a pretty straightforward guy. I mean, you know how those mountain men could be a little off their rocker sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they are crazy. They drink too much moonshine.
Yeah, but I mean, he seemed on the up and up.
Yep, but let's go and tell the other guys.
Okay. Where is everybody?
I think we're at the hotel. I think Molly and I are at the hotel. By now, probably, right, Tony?
Yep, and y'all would have probably seen them walking across. I mean, the town's not very big. I mean, Cactus, you and Owen would have probably seen them walking across towards the hotel during this time also.
Yeah, I mean, if they were out in the street when we walked across, I would have whistled or something to let them know we were walking. Wouldn't just leave them hanging.
Just leave them. Just you and me, darling. No.
You definitely notice Ellis is not with them, though.
Yeah, Ellis is not here.
Yeah, Cactus. He goes up to the rest of the party and pulls out that little wanted poster. He looks around. He's still looking very nervous, shifty eyes, and opens the poster just enough to let Rufus and Molly see the person in the picture.
Rufus will kind of get a smile and go, "Well, I knew she was a special lady."
Rufus, test your wits, and I'll let you do it. Advantage 2d6. What is your wits?
Against my wits is 12. And I rolled 5.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the poster, you definitely notice the resemblance, and and you can tell that it's probably pretty much the same lady you were talking to.
Well, she told me her name was Misty, but I had a inkling she maybe was hiding something, just didn't know what it was. She said she was staying at the hotel. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Well, Rufus, like the other times when you charm all those ladies, I believe you could do something like that this time around too. But this time we will capture her.
Yeah, we're just going to capture her, right?
Unless she tries to kill us with her gun, we have to shoot back.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're not just going to shoot her outright.
Yeah,
No.
that would be very bad.
Yeah, that's what
What
I
do
was
you
thinking.
think? What do you think, Molly? Are you in on this here bounty?
I mean, $500 is a lot of money, but
If
yeah,
if Ellis is not here, then our share would go up. But you want to tell Ellis about it?
well, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything until Rufus sees her next, right? So we'll see Ellis before then, hopefully. Although last time he ended up in his drawers in the middle of the street after going off with a girl like that. So he'll probably need the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are right.
That boy ain't got no game.
Well, he took all my money.
Well, no. He didn't take your money. You know who took your money? That blonde.
Oh no!
My money. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm surprised the soldiers haven't recognized her yet. This wanted poster out.
Well, the soldiers aren't good guys.
What?
This
What? Good to me. They're very, very honest, and they're going to take care of the
no. I was talking. You remember the mountain man that came in earlier? His name's Bobcat. He said that they're deserters, and that they got something going on up at the mine.
Yeah, they've got papers to go reopen the mine from the government.
Yeah,
That's
or they're working with the woman.
That's what they say, but I also talked to some old people, those Chinese people, and they tell me that they haven't been getting paid. If they're working for the real army, they would have been paid long ago.
I don't know about that. You know, the government is. They keep all that money back east.
Yeah, maybe it's just not here yet, Jimmy.
Yeah, and you're right. Maybe they are legit.
I mean, if they're deserters, why are they all dressed up so properly and keep in good order? You think deserters are a little more wild?
That's the ruse, right? I mean, that's the thing. You make it look. I mean, nobody runs around and says that they're a bad guy.
Well, they are deserters. They used to be in the army and they have to desert together. So they have to follow their own rules. And that's why they're still wearing their uniforms, don't you think?
I mean, would you trust them? Well, I guess you have.
I mean, Two Pot seemed like a really nice guy, and that sergeant took care of his Riley soldier really quickly when he tried to pick a fight with Ellis.
That's true. That's true, Molly.
That seems pretty up and up for me.
Okay,
So
well
if
then,
they're
so you think they're up and up?
well, I mean, if they've gone bad, they're really keeping their loyalty, which is unusual for people that
Well, then I should
I
probably, Bobcat, the guy I was talking about before, he said he's going to blow up the mine because he thinks that they're trying to they're trying to do something wrong, that they are deserters.
Let me just put this out for a second here. She lowers her voice. I guess I'm assuming we're sitting around a table. So you want to trust the guy that lives in the woods and out of his mouth the first time you meet him talks about blowing up a mine.
Well, no, we were talking for a while, and I had a good feeling about him, and I think he had a good feeling about me. I mean, good people know each other, right?
Well, I think Molly has a very good point. You have to know who to trust. And the people that live out there in the mountains, they're usually the people that are banished from places like this. I know because I've seen people like that in other places.
I know. Well, Carolyn always said I was gullible, so I mean,
the whole thing seems a little suspicious. I agree that the workers haven't been paid, but I don't think blowing things up is necessarily the first step to take in these situations.
Yeah.
Like, why would he blow it up? Because he thinks they're deserters and they're going to steal the silver?
No, well, I think, if they're with this woman who's a bank robber, that's probably their hideout. I mean, they probably got all this money up there.
Why would they do it with her? Well, how did you connect that?
Well, I saw this poster on the wall just around the corner. And if the soldiers were here, and if she was able to just stand around in the bar, doesn't that mean that they don't care, or they're either working together or something like that?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the sheriff went looking for her. That's why the sheriff isn't around.
I think that is a lie. The sheriff looking for her elsewhere at a time like this, it doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I think he may have been killed.
I think so too.
All right. So I'm gonna go to I'm assuming that the hotel has like some kind of a area that was sitting at a table.
Yeah, y'all probably at the restaurant there. If you wanted to go into a restaurant area of the hotel, as you get your rooms and all that.
So I'm gonna go up to the clerk, that you get the rooms from, and I'm gonna say,
Yep. Before you do that, as y'all ponder everything y'all are talking about, I'm going to jump back over to Ellis for a moment. You there, Crystal?
I'm here.
Yeah, you make your way up with the pretty blonde on your arm, and of course she wants her money up front, and you do your deed. You have any questions, or how would you want to approach with her now?
I would guess that Ellis would just, do his thing, and then, just if it's one of those things where it's just pay and then you leave, then he'll leave after that, get his change from the bartender or whatnot. But if he can, he'll really just stay there for the night, just pay an all-night service.
Oh yeah, she'll take plenty of money for that. If you want to do that.
He won pretty good playing poker, so.
Yeah, she'll take her money and says you can stay there then.
Yep. So he'll do.
Would there be anything you want to question her about, or is that something Ellis would do, or?
Yeah, I don't think so. Ellis isn't all that smart, so he's one of those just live it by the seat of your pants kind of guys. So if she wants to talk about anything, he'll lay there with a bottle of whiskey in his hand and a cigarette in his mouth and pretend to listen. But he's not gonna really ask her anything specifically.
Yeah, basically all she'll tell you during the night is, that some of the soldiers are nice guys. A lot of them, they pay their money and everything, and that, a few of them try to gyp her and the other girls sometimes, and some of them when they get to drinking, they're downright ornery, like the guy that tried to jump on you. But she said usually she'll mention that sergeant. Says, usually the sergeant keeps the guys in line because he knows that if the lieutenant comes in there, it's all about business then. But that's pretty much all she tells you, and uh, she hears that they're in town. The government sent them back to open up a silver mine. That's pretty much all she'll talk about, really.
Right. I mean, also keep that stuff in mind and, keep it till the morning.
All right, we'll jump back over to our forward then. That as you're waiting there at the hotel, maybe for your dinner or whatever, and you approach the attendant there, Molly.
Is it a woman or a man?
It is a man. He appears to be in his early 30s, dressed very nice, kind of a very wiry build.
Right. I'm going to walk up to him and I'm going to say, so we just came into town and we're going to need some rooms. Obviously, they'll need a room and I'll need a room. A friend of mine who also works the trails was also supposed to be coming through town. And I kind of loosely described, but not super specific, the woman, the Misty woman. I'll say, did she come by recently or is she here maybe still? I can leave a note for her. Her name is Sharon.
When you say that, he gets the register book and he starts, well, what day would she arrive here?
Well, when you're on the trail, sometimes days don't line up, but she would have been here, either she's come and gone, so maybe 2 days ago, or maybe she's not here yet. I don't know. But have there been many women coming through? I know that probably there's not many of us that work the trails like this.
Yes, there is one lady here that is staying. She goes, I believe, let me look in the book now, not by the name you have, and she was not dressed like I don't mean this derogatory, but she was not dressed like a cowpoke or a cow rustler. She's dressed very elegantly. Her name is Marguerite. Here it is, Marguerite Smith.
Oh, I wonder if that's her. Well, I suppose when she comes down for dinner, I'll see. I wouldn't want to disturb her. I'm sure she's in her room.
Yes, in fact, she just come back to her room probably not an hour ago.
I want to look like, I don't know how this is set up, but I kind of haven't watched a bunch of Westerns. There's probably a bunch of like keys hanging on the wall behind him. I'm going to see if there's a notable amount of them missing. And if like it's only a couple, I want to try to see which rooms they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to see which ones are missing. If they're there. I mean, I don't know if they're.
You notice it appears to be 12 slotted and painted numbers, and 5 are missing.
Okay. All right. So there's a decent amount of rooms that she could be in. All right. That's cool. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say the table and I'm going to say, okay, I got us some rooms. I would have wrote our name in the book too for the group.
All right. Yep.
And I'll say, all right, it sounds like she's probably here. So that part of what you said was true. And she could be in any number of these rooms, and I'll say it, but that's about half the place. So I don't think we should be randomly knocking on doors.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to meet her tomorrow in the noontime, but I don't know if that was true now or a lie.
No. I mean, I just think grabbing somebody and pointing a gun at them might not be the best bet. Maybe you could talk to her and see if she is who we think she is, and if so, maybe she'll come peacefully.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be happy to conversate with her some more and see what she's about.
Seems this town is full of mysteries. And then she kind of like leans back and takes a sip of her drink and says, "But I know what I need right now, and that's a bath." And she's going to actually, it's still late in the day, right? So she's going to.
Oh yeah, it's late, or early evening, late afternoon.
Yeah, she's going to see if she can get a bath tonight before she goes to bed, and then she's just going to clean up and get her room.
Yep, you can go to your room. Y'all don't encounter anybody. No one else comes into the dining part while y'all are there. You do see a couple guests come in and go up, straight up the stairs, probably to their rooms. But They're both men, dressed pretty finely clothing and all that. They go up to their rooms. They don't come into the dining room or anything. They bring you dinner or whatever if you order dinner and all that, of course. But nothing else exciting happens in the hotel. Y'all would probably hear, all of you would probably hear the soldiers come back in, at dusk or just after dark. You would hear them come back in with the laborers and all that. You see some of them go out kind of on the side of town that you probably wouldn't have noticed when y'all come in. It appears they're going out to some encampment or whatever they probably had just outside of town on the edge of that.
I want to ask Jimmy, Jimmy, do you really think they're abusing these Chinese workers?
Well, I don't know. They just say that they haven't been paid for a long time. But I used to work in one of those railroads, and you work long hours, but still, it's a good opportunity to make money. I just couldn't deal with all the blowing up. There's particularly dangerous task. They lower you down on the cliff, you drill a little hole, put dynamite in there, and they're supposed to reel you up before it blows up. But if you miss the timing, you could get killed. I saw a couple of my friends get killed, and I decided to leave some time ago. I
Well,
think
I don't blame you for that.
I think I am to get caught. If anyone recognizes me, they'd probably take me back there. But you knew a little bit of my story before, right, Rufus?
Right. No, sorry. Right.
Well, I think
I just don't want them to be abusing people.
well, it's a tough making money, but I don't know. I mean, if we find out more, if I hear anything more, then I will let you know.
All right, thank you. Shall we go to our room?
Are we all
Owen?
rooming together?
Not with me or not.
Well, I just throw my bedroll on the floor. I mean, if you guys don't mind.
You can share a room with me, Jolly. You don't have to. That's fine.
Okay. I mean, thanks. I appreciate that.
You see off in the corner, Jimmy's, got a deck of cards, and he's trying to figure out how to play poker.
Yeah, y'all can settle down for the evening, get your baths and dust off of the saddle, so to speak. And we'll start out with the next morning. Ellis, are you going to leave out early that morning? Of course, you would probably know that they all went to the hotel for rooms. I mean, you would have known that. But are you going to leave out early, bright and early the next morning to go back to meet them or not?
He'll leave out breakfast time, let's say.
Yep, and you'll we'll say you get over to the hotel, and the rest of them are down in the dining area. They see you come in and wave you in for the breakfast there.
Good morning, y'all. He says, he tips his hat, and he says, "Now, Molly, I just want to let you know that what happened last night, that was just a bit of fun. The place in my heart is still all yours, all right?"
She winks at you. She says, "Well, I just hope that you got your revolver nice and oiled because we might need it."
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fill me in on the details. And he takes a seat.
So, it looks like there's a possibility that there's a bank robber here in town. And we might want to bring them in. $500 split between us.
Oh, shit. We bring in the bank robber for $500? Mm-hmm. What if we just rob a bank with the bank robber and probably get a bigger take?
I mean, you're not wrong there, but I kind of don't want my face on wanted posters, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh golly, Miss Molly, I tell you what, you're something else. All right, we'll try it your way.
Well, yeah, I'm with Molly. I like notoriety of a certain type, but not not that type.
That's true. Seems like there's a lot else going on in town here with the soldiers and the mine and some of the workers. Did you hear anything from the girl?
Yeah, she said something about they don't want to pay sometimes, but their sergeant keeps them in line pretty well. I think she said that they usually end up paying. I don't know. I was kind of occupied a bit more on things other than her words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Molly smiles. Yeah. I don't know, guys. That sounds very soldierly to me. Maybe we can get ourselves a tour of this mine and see what it looks like over there. Is it close by? Do you know? I say to the ones who Owen and Jimmy, I guess, because they talk to the workers.
Well, from the workers, it doesn't seem like it is too far away.
Yeah, I, I don't know. I was just supposed to meet Owen, or not Owen. I was supposed to meet Bobcat at a pile of stones in a fork in the road.
What kind of mine?
Silver mine.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute. I thought we were going to kill a bank robber. Now you want to bop the soldiers and take their mine? I don't know what's going on here.
no. Bobcat's going to blow up the mine in another day. And he wanted us to help him because he thinks that the soldiers are deserters. The
He's
soldiers
going
are
to blow
bad.
all the silver off the wall, and we're just going to take that shit. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, okay, I guess if you want to look at it that way, but I think Bobcat was saying that he thinks that all the soldiers are deserters, and I think that they're in with the bank robber and they killed the sheriff because the
Who the
sheriff
hell
is missing
Bobcat?
too. Yeah, well, he was the. Do you remember the mountain guide that came into the watering hole? Well, I talked to him. Remember, I left. I talked to him, and we kind of became friends.
So you want to trust the crazy guy living in the woods to blow the silver mine so that we can't take any silver from it?
Well, I trust a crazy Mexican I ride with. I think I can trust this guy.
Well, Owen, let me think about this. How many guns does your friend have?
I don't recall seeing anything. I know he has dynamite.
He has a dynamite, but the soldiers have many, many guns, and they have those cannons, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, but we don't have to. We don't have to fight a war. I mean, we
And
just.
if we go up to a silver mine that the government is defending, wouldn't they simply shoot us down?
Well, like I said, we don't have to go in there and fight. We could just look, right? There's no harm in looking.
Wait, I got a question. You guys don't want to end up with your faces on posters, right? But you're talking about blowing up a mine that's owned by the government?
No, I'm not.
Pretty good way to get your face on a poster.
No, I'm not saying that. Bobcat said he was going to, and he wanted us to do it because we're from out of town.
You know, Ellis,
Oh, so you're just going to be affiliated with the guy that they want to hang. Okay. That seems like a good plan then, I guess.
you know, Ellis, I think you really earned that nickname, the Brains.
Yeah.
So
That is the smartest thing that I have heard in all year riding around next to you.
Much obliged. Sometimes they hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
what I would say is this, as I drink my coffee. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think that even if they were deserters, I'm not so sure that blowing up the mine just to get them to stop mining seems like a good idea. We're going to be in a town in probably a couple weeks' time. We can just report them.
Okay, I just want to be perfectly clear. I'm not blowing up the mine. Bobcat is blowing up the mine.
So
I
are you
didn't
saying
even,
he's gonna do it with or without us? Is what you're saying?
well, he wanted us to come along because he says he needs some help and that there's a bunch of these bad guys. And he's going to do it at night so none of the workers so we don't have to worry about the workers being there.
Oh, I get it. I didn't shoot him, officer. My gun just went off while it was in my hand.
Wait,
That's
wait,
perfect, Owen. I love it.
wait. We may earn a lot of gold by doing this. We go there and we capture um, your friend Bobcat, and we bring him in because he's about to blow up a government property.
Yeah, well, we could either this Bobcat or Missy or whatever her name is, the bank robber.
So we could capture the bank robber one day, and then we could stop Bobcat another day, and after that, the next day we leave town.
Yeah, I can go back to the farm.
Well, I mean, we
Oh,
finished the job because we are guarding the train here, the wagon train.
Yeah,
There is a bank in this
hell,
town, right?
we'll be
Yeah.
damn right heroes. They'll write songs about us.
You said there was a bank in this town, right, Tim?
Yep, there's a very nice bank, the Western Range Bank.
All right. I think that let's just say this: if this young lady is a bank robber, and if she's planning on robbing the bank, then we probably should be keeping our eyes on the bank. In addition to that, this mine is making me very curious. So it's probably worth just kind of going over and taking a look, right?
Yep.
So maybe we can try to talk to Two Pots and see if I can get myself a
Yeah.
tour.
That's why I said there's no harm in looking. We could just check it out.
Well, I don't think we should just do some kind of reconnaissance. I'm going to ask to go see it.
What about
no,
checking out the soldiers' encampment as well? Could we tell from there if they're legit or deserters?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell. I didn't serve time.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
And like I say, I'm just trying to figure out what purpose it serves to not just report there and try to take this into our own hands anyways. Why don't we just report that we think they're
Because
deserters?
the sheriff is missing.
No, in the next town, hon.
Well, maybe the sheriff is missing there too.
Have you been reading more of those dime novels?
Well, no, because I can't afford them. So, no, I'm not.
All right, I'll
Bring
meet
my life
with
there,
the
if you don't mind.
They got a 12 pack of those crows for $15.99.
I'll meet with Misty or Crackpot or whatever Crackshot, sorry, whatever her name really is. Molly, you want to try to go get a tour of the mine?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to find Two Pots.
Yeah,
So,
we'll start with you first, Molly. You're going by yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go back to my room and I'm gonna leave like my pistol because I'm in town. I don't think I need a pistol on me, but I'll have my knife. I'll bring my knife because everybody walks around with a knife. And I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna walk, I guess, towards wherever their encampment is and try to look for where I see smoke from a breakfast being cooked.
Yeah, you head that way, and you see the chow wagon or whatever, the chow tent, and you see Tupac there is, kind of dressed, not completely dressed. I mean, he's got his clothes on, but he's got his straps on. He comes walking out and he sees you and he goes, "Well, what brings you here?"
Well, I was thinking about it after you left, and I'm like, how does somebody make some biscuits, some beans, bacon, and coffee in 2 pots? So I had to come see.
Well, you missed breakfast, darling. We eat it when the sun rises. In the process of having them youngsters clean the pots right now.
All right. This all I've never seen a mine before. Do you think that I could go over there, or is that like some kind of special government area that people aren't allowed?
Well, I mean, The lieutenant, he won't let you, safety regulations and all that. You wouldn't be able to go inside the mine. I mean, if you just wanted to get a quick glance at the outside of it, I mean, I'm sure you could, but lieutenant's not going to let you go in there because of safety is in case something happened.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Should I maybe talk to somebody, or can you bring me over there? Like, how can I do this? I don't want to
Well,
get in
I can
trouble,
I can
right?
take you to see Sergeant Smith real quick, and he could probably approve it.
That'd be much appreciated.
Yep, and Tupac will take you over to the sergeant, and he says, "Well, Miss," and you see he's stroking his goatee, very fine, grown goatee and mustache, and he says, "Well, Miss, I wouldn't have a problem there with you just seeing the outside of the mine, the workers, just out of the area of the workers, but yeah, we can't give no tour on the inside, because of the government, all these safety deals that have come out now, we have to abide by."
Well, of course, I understand. It's not dangerous over there though with the Indians, is it?
Oh, well, no, we see some of them riding across the range sometime, but we have very good relationships with them.
Oh, excellent. I would love to see the mine. I've never seen a mine before. I read about them in magazines when we travel around, but I've never seen a mine.
Well, I'll be up there in a couple hours. I'm Sergeant Smith again. You just go out of town there, and when you get to there's like a little, well, not really a crossroads, but just go out of town there. And when you get that way, you'll see our trail of where we'll go up there every day and back. You come up there about midday and ask for me, and I'll make sure you're given a quick tour.
Well, thank you so much, Sergeant, and you too, two bots. And then she'll leave.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Rufus needs to go whenever it's time to meet Misty or Crackshot. What was her name? Crackshot?
Misty. She's not a bank robber. She is Misty.
Misty, right? Right. Who we know from the poster is probably Crackshot.
So what's the plan, Rufus? Do you want us to hide and come to help you when you give us a signal?
Well, we don't want to spook her into not showing up, so I think it's best if y'all stay out of sight. But we need to have a signal.
Where are you going to meet her?
I'm supposed to meet her at the Samson's watering hole.
Is that the same place that we were at yesterday playing poker?
Yes, it is.
All right.
All right. Now listen to me, Rufus. You need to at least hear her out. Because if she says something about planning a bank robbery here, I mean, I'm just saying that could be a pretty big, handle for us.
I assure you I will listen to her intently.
Well, if there's anybody that can disarm a lady, it's you, Rufus.
Why, thank you. So he wants to go meet Misty.
Yeah. If nobody else wanted to do anything that mid-morning, you're going to go back to the deal though mid-morning, Molly, right? You're going back to
Yeah,
the
so I guess I'm not
silver
going to
mines
be
mid-morning.
Yeah, I mean, so right, he has to meet Molly at the same time. I'm sorry, Misty at the same time that I'm going to go to the mine, right?
No, it'll be probably a couple hours time frame, but it's roughly an
Okay.
hour from town to get to the mine. So you'd be pushing it to get back probably after taking a tour. So yeah, you probably won't be back in time when they're supposed to meet.
Okay.
I mean, it would be pushing it. I mean, it'd have to be a quick trip.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if I should go to the mine after. Then it'll be too late, right?
Well, he just told you come sometime mid-morning. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't really specifically say that you had to be there then, but he said
Yeah,
he would
I
be
think-
there. He said he would be there mid-morning.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll wait a little bit. The only other thing I'd like to do in the morning, if there's a place that I can do this, I don't know if there is or not, is I want to try to find some kind of like a pastry or sweets or something like that I can bring to the soldiers. You know, like a
Yeah, you
pie.
find that. Yeah, there's a bakery shop there.
Yeah.
It's called Miss Molly's, in fact.
Oh, fantastic.
Could Jimmy do something?
Yeah. What would you like to do, Jimmy?
Well, he's gonna go to the bank.
Yeah, you go into the bank. It's very small, but very nice, well taken care of. You can tell. There's a one man behind the deal there, clerk, and you see one office over there. And when you're looking at office, make me a wits check, 3d6 against your wits.
I have 10 and I roll 10.
Yeah, I mean, you don't recognize the guy then. You see now, you see a guy that's dressed very nice, older type guy, but you don't really recognize him. At first, you think you do, but yeah, there's one clerk though behind the deal there.
Okay. He walks up there and says, "Excuse me, sir. I have come upon this poster around the town," and he unfolds the poster and shows the guy.
He looks down, he puts his glasses on, looks at it, and he goes, "Well, yes, you would probably be needing to talk to the sheriff about that, not the bank."
I think I have seen this woman around the town.
Oh, well, have you spoken with the sheriff?
Uh, where is the sheriff's office?
Well, it's down at the end, like you're going out of town here. It's a very small building, but come to think of it, I haven't seen old Frank in a couple of days. I don't know if he's sick or whatever, but you may go down there and check.
All right, thank you. And he leaves the place and heads over to the sheriff's place.
You go down to the sheriff's office. It's a very small building. The doors are locked. You can look in the window. One of the windows, the curtains are pulled up or whatever, but you can look in there and see a desk and a chair and a doorway that's closed that you would probably think leads back to the cell. But there's nobody in there. It's closed up, locked up.
He's gonna look around. Are there anybody near him?
In the town, no, that's walking down the street now.
Okay. Is the door like glass door, or
No,
is
it's a solid wooden door.
okay? Is there a window?
There is a window that you looked in.
Yeah, he's gonna go around the window. How large is the window? Is it something that he could
It's
climb
very
through?
big. It's probably, maybe 4 by 4. It's a very large window across there.
He's gonna take a look inside to survey if there's been any sign of struggle.
Nope, everything seems to be in order from what you can see.
Okay. He tries to open the window. Is it locked?
Oh yeah, there's no way you could open it from the outside. You can definitely tell that.
Okay. He's gonna go around to the stable uh, of the police department or the sheriff's office.
To the back side of it.
Yeah, he's gonna go and check and see whether if how many horses are tied there, or if there are any.
Yeah, you go to the back, and as you do, you look up and you're surprised by 3 soldiers standing there. They look at you and they go, "Why ain't you out of the mine working?"
Uh, I work for a different company. I am here with the Muerchison Mercantile Company.
Never heard of them.
It's the wagon train that came to town. We're just staying here for a couple of days.
Well, boy, you look like you work for the U.S. government to me.
I'm just looking for some place to piss, sir.
Well, you ain't gonna do it back here now.
No, because you're here. Excuse me. And he's gonna go back the way he came.
A couple of them start laughing. The one that actually spoke out to you, though, he's a very large, well, muscle-built man. He just gives you like a go to hell look, but the other two kind of start laughing and chuckling as you make your way out of there.
Yep. Did he see any horses tied back there? Or
Roll me 46 at disadvantage since you were surprised over them. Roll me 46 against your wits.
okay. Ooh. All right. I rolled. Let's see, 19. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they surprised you before you could really see if there was any horse present.
yeah, I think he almost literally peed his pants.
But yeah, it doesn't appear that anybody is at the sheriff's office right now at all. And if nobody else want to do anything that morning, we can jump to your meeting then, Rufus, if you like.
Sure, I tell Jimmy. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, Ellis is just gonna have a big breakfast, and that's it.
How are you going to do your plan, Rufus? Where's everybody else going to be at?
Well, I don't think Jimmy. I don't know if she would even bat an eye if you were in there. She knows we came in on the same wagon train. If you want to just sit in the bar.
I think
And
I will sit in the corner and learn how to play this game with Ellis. Just give us a call. What do you want to say that would get us to act?
well, I don't think she knows your moniker there, so I will say I will work the word cactus into my speech very loudly if I need you guys.
Okay, just say it very slowly so that I know when you say it.
How like cactus?
That sounds very good.
All right, I can do that.
That might be too slow.
Maybe cactus.
Cactus. Got it.
I'm actually gonna go and get my guns since I didn't have it earlier. And I
All
think
right.
I'll sit, I think I'll sit on the porch outside whittling.
Yep, that's
so that
fine.
we're not all together. Just in case she comes running out the door, I'll like be waiting there.
You can do that. Ellis, you and Cactus Jimmy are going to be there playing cards, it looks like.
Yeah, Ellis sits Jimmy down and says, "Now, Jimmy, now the number one rule of the game is that you never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Now, there's plenty of time to count when the dealing's done." And he starts dealing out the cards.
And Jimmy at that time was actually counting, and all of a sudden says, "Oh," and then he puts it away.
Oh, and what would you like to be doing?
Owen's going to be just walking around town, checking things out.
All right.
He's going to keep an eye on the watering hole, but he's also going to walk. Is there like a mercantile in that?
Yes, there is a small mercantile.
Yeah, he's just going to kind of do a little a little window shopping.
Yep, you can do that, man. We'll jump in. Rufus, you go into the watering hole. You see your lady friend sitting in the back table. She's dressed a little bit nicer today, almost like a skirt and all that. And she's sitting there, and when you come in, she motions you. You can see she's eating a plate of food, and she has a newer bottle of whiskey sitting there. And she says, "Oh, well, you did decide to show up. Would you like a late lunch? I will be glad to buy it."
Oh, darling, let me buy you something this time. Let me pay for your victuals there. And you might I say you look fantastic.
Well, you don't have to be so subtle about it, you know. But thank you.
And he'll sit down at the table with her. And he says, "How are you on this fine mid-afternoon, darling?"
Well, it's been a kind of a trying day. I'm kind of ready to get out to my sister's. I think I'm probably going to be leaving here pretty soon. I've got a couple of things I'm waiting from the telegraph office to come in, and then hopefully I can get out the next day or so and just go on out to my sister's. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Surely you're not traveling by yourself. Just a beautiful woman like yourself shouldn't be traveling all by her lonesome.
Well, I'm usually pretty good at taking care of myself. My father taught me the use of weapons.
Really? What kind of weapon do you like to use?
Well, the pistol, that's the quickest and the fastest way.
Well, okay. I also use a pistol. I heard a rumor in town that there might be outlaws out there. You might need an escort to get where you're going.
Well, I think I'll be okay. I've made it this far by myself. I may look pretty and all, but I'm a little tougher than probably what you would think there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And he's kind of discreetly puts his hand on his blackjack and he says, well, I think you probably are very, very prickly. As prickly as a cactus. And he will pull out his blackjack and be like, we know it's you, darling. You might as well just come with us.
Do you stand up from the table or you're still seated?
Jimmy stands up from the table and
Oh, not you, Jimmy. Hold on.
I'm still seated for now.
Rufus is still seated. Okay.
Yep.
Y'all hear the code word then, Jimmy?
yeah, as soon as cactus is mentioned, he gets up from the table and he already has his gun drawn.
All right. This is what's going to happen then. What about Ellis? What do you do, real quick?
Ellis will grab his rifle, which he probably has sitting, at the end of the table. He'll go ahead and grab it and put it down across the table so he has a clean shot.
All right. Jimmy, you jump up with your pistol drawn. Ellis has his rifle ready. Rufus, you have the blackjack in your hand, and you say that to her, and she looks at you and never bashes an eyelash, and she goes, "Nothing against you, handsome, but if you're still around, or I'm sorry, if I'm still around, maybe you can come with me." She jumps up, and as she jumps up, she has a pistol in her hand. We will roll initiative. Cactus Jimmy, since you jumped up with the pistol, she's going to take aim at you first. Roll a d6 for me.
I got 5.
A 5. She had a 3. So she will go first. Test your reflexes. 3d6 on your reflexes.
3d6.
You need to get under.
Oh boy. Okay. I got 6 and my reflex is 13.
She pops a shot off and it goes swinging by you and almost probably hits Ellis as it goes by and goes into the corner of the deal there. And it is up to you all, your group. If anybody is doing, oh crap, I forgot my thoughts. Whoever's doing a range will go first. So.
What I'm going to do is I'm outside and I hear a gunshot. I'm just going to kind of get down on a knee so I don't get shot through a window. And I'm going to point my gun at the door. And if I see her run out, I'll shoot her. But otherwise, I'm just going to stay there because I figure there's 3 of them inside. They got it.
Yep. Anybody inside? If you're doing a ranged, you can go in any order you want to.
Ellis, as this bullet whizzes by his head, he says, "Son of a bitch!" and he'll fire off his round. And then he'll flip the table over so that he can get cover behind it.
Yep, you can do that. Nice. You're going to shoot at her, test your reflexes, yeah?
Yeah, I did. A 14, and my reflexes are 11. So, he just kind of pops a shot as he's flipping the table over, and bullet flies by her, bust a window out.
All right. Rufus, you're at the table with your blackjack in your hand. Jimmy, she shot at you. You can definitely tell she was targeting you. What would you like to do as your...
Yeah, because he's being targeted, he's going to draw the other pistol. So he's got 2 pistols in his hand, and he's going to unloaded.
All right, you're gonna shoot at her.
He's gonna. Could I make a call shot or try to shoot her gun?
I tell you what, do your test your reflexes and let me know what you get, and we'll go from there.
What do you want me to roll?
You roll 3d6 against your reflex score.
Okay, I got 12 and my reflex is 13.
You got one under. Okay, you're successful. I'm gonna say that's too close though to get her pistol. You do hit her. You're using a dual wielding like that, so roll 2 damage die and take the highest result.
I got 7.
7 damage is the highest. Okay. You strike into her. Your bullet does. You see this happen, Rufus. What would you like to do as you're sitting there right next to her?
Does the bullet look like it didn't mortally injure her? Just kind of
Yeah,
shot into.
you can tell it was a flesh wound.
Then I'm going to try to incapacitate her with the blackjack. Just.
All right, you're going to make a melee.
Yep. So that's 3d6.
All right,
right?
so you would take 3d6 against your iron score.
Okay. I got 1 under.
All right, you're successful, and roll your damage.
Okay. So that's 3 damage with the blackjack. I'm not trying to kill her. I'm just trying to knock her out.
Knock her out, okay. Yeah, you hit into her, and she looks at you, and she winks at you, and she goes, "Oh, we could have had so much fun together." Jimmy, roll initiative again, just a d6.
Initiative D6, and I got 1.
All right, your group goes first. So whoever's doing range still gets to go first.
Ellis like comes up from behind the table and just quickly, boom, takes a shot and busts out another window.
Okay.
This glass is falling on top of me. I'm like, what the hell?
Poor Molly.
Jimmy, are you doing ranged attack?
No, actually, he's gonna yell out. Because Rufus is so close to her, he's not gonna shoot her. And he's gonna say, "Just give up, and come with us." And he's gonna try to do a physical attack. Try to.
You want to move up
her.
to her then? Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna try to tackle her and wrestle that pistol off of her.
All right, you're moving up. I'm going to say since Rufus is already there, he can go first though. Since
Yeah. I'll say, really, darling, I don't really like to hit women. That's not what I like to do with women. But you really do need to come with us, and he will try to grab for her.
you're going to try to grapple into her. Okay. Test your iron.
Okay.
3d6.
Yeah, that's under.
How good under?
I'm sorry, 7 under.
7 under. Okay. Yeah. You grab her and you seem to have her secured enough. She's trying to wiggle her pistol to get into a firing stance again, but she cannot do that. You run up, Jimmy, and you want to try to grapple her too, Dan?
Yeah, he's gonna try to knock that pistol off of her hand, and yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah,
try to take it
roll.
off.
I'll give you 2d6 since she's already grappled. 2d6 advantage on your iron. Let me know what
Okay.
you get.
And I am 4 under.
4 under. You're able to get the pistol away from her.
Nice.
And she looks at you and she goes, "Rats, you devils! I was going out to see my sister, really."
Well, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And also, Owen, you hear all these shots going on as you're walking to town. What would you like to do?
I'm running all the way back towards the watering hole.
All right.
I'll say to her as I'm holding her, darling, then if you're just going to see your sister, why was your picture on a wanted poster?
What are you speaking of?
Show her,
Ellis?
Jimmy.
Ellis, come in, help her.
Yeah,
tie-
she stopped resisting Jimmy and Rufus. She's not resisting at all right now.
Yeah, Ellis is definitely walking up like right now with his rifle aimed right at her.
We can tie. I think I have a rope. We can tie her if you. And then you can show her the picture, Jimmy.
I will make sure that she does not get her gun here. And then he holds it away from her.
Oh yeah, you've got the gun secure.
Yeah,
Well,
Ellis will go. Ellis will. No, I mean Ellis has got a rifle, so he's
Do
gonna.
you
So he would go. Go ahead, Rufus. Tie her up. We got her.
do you show her the poster, Jimmy?
Yeah, as soon as she's tied up, he's gonna show her the poster.
yeah, I'll tie her up.
She looks at the poster and she winks at you, Rufus, and she goes, "Don't I look much better in person?"
Well, you certainly do that, ma'am, but why is a beautiful woman like you resorting to a life of dastardly deeds?
Well, I guess if you come to my trial before they hang me, you can listen to my sad, sad story I will tell.
That sounds like a date to me. Let's take her to the sheriff.
Sheriff's
Well,
not around.
there's one problem.
What? Sheriff's
I,
not around. What
I
the
went
hell did we do this for?
I went to the sheriff's office and there is no one around. There are only 3 very big and scary looking soldiers nearby.
Is there anyone other than us around right now?
The bartender is over there behind the bar. The two girls, your blonde-headed girl, she wasn't down this morning or when this happened after lunch. The other girl was the redheaded one. She took
Yeah,
off
you're
running up
darn
the
right she
stairs.
wasn't down yet.
She run up the stairs, the redhead.
We could take her to the next town and turn her over and collect our bounty.
Wait a minute. Ellis is going to get in close. He's going to say, so you mean to tell me that we got a bank robber in a town that doesn't have a sheriff?
Yes.
So there's like a twinkle in Molly's eye, and she says, yeah, we're going to have to secure her. Come on, bring her out here.
Rufus, roll me. I'll give you advantage 2d6 against your wits as you're tying and securing her up.
Okay. Six under.
You find a small derringer hid in the folds of her dress there that you recovered from her.
Oh, darling, you really were prickly like a cactus, weren't you?
Oh, you don't know.
As soon as that name is mentioned, Cactus draws his double pistols again and approaches.
Oh, no, Jimmy, I said cactus, not cactus. You're good.
You almost gave me a heart attack there.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. And he'll ask her as he's walking the band or the crack shot. He'll say, darling, do you know more about these soldiers than you're letting on? Are they working with you? Are you working with them? Are they really soldiers? We've heard some rumors.
You say that, and she looks at you, just starts smiling and laughing, and she goes, don't you think I have much more sense than to work with those low lifes? I mean, I don't need any help. I do everything by myself.
I thought you looked like a solo kind of fighter, but I had to ask.
Yeah, she does. Listen, Rufus. We got a bank robber, and we're in town with that doesn't have a sheriff. And all the soldiers that would guard this town, they're at the mine right now.
So, are you saying we should? I don't think that we're gonna get everybody on board with robbing the bank, Ellis.
I was going to say, we should leave right away with her then. Get her to the next town.
Listen, Owen, you've now started this motion with the man that you're supposed to meet. So I'm heading to the mine now to meet with the soldiers to see if that your friend there is correct. Just keep her somewhere safe, guys. And then I'm gonna start walking towards the. Or I guess I take a horse.
You'll get your horse and head to the mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off to the mine because I want to see.
Perfect.
I mean, turning her into the soldiers doesn't seem to make sense if they have no money. So that's not a good idea either. But I just want to know what's going on at the mine.
Yep. So you're headed to the mine.
Jimmy, was the sheriff's office was it unlocked? Could we put her in a cell there?
No, it was tightly locked and there was nobody inside. Everything is locked.
Jimmy, you look up when you're saying this to Rufus. You see the bank open up, and you see the man walk out. Not the clerk, but you see the other man that was in the office. After y'all all see him, you recognize him as being the man that was in the watering hole the day before eating his dinner. And he says, "What in tarnation is going on here with the gunshots? Are these soldiers drunk again?"
No, sir. Jimmy saw it. Never mind.
Well, no,
Jimmy,
Jimmy sees him at first, but then you all hear him yell that out and probably turn to see him.
Jimmy, hands over the poster to Nash so that he could talk to him.
Well, sir, we saw this here wanted poster, and we're trying to collect a bounty on this little darling here. And he points at Misty and shows him the poster.
Crack shot Christine. Oh, she's one of the most notorious bank robbers ever, and I guess she was about to hit our bank. Well, the sheriff, Frank, I don't know where he's been. I don't know if the man is sick or what's going on. I haven't seen him in a couple of days, but I do have keys to the sheriff's office if you would like to take her down there.
What do you guys think?
There ought to be a cell in there, so yes, that would be good. And this
Yeah,
guy
that's
seems like he's
probably a
an
good
officer.
idea. Hey, out of curiosity, like, were you prepared for a bank robbery to happen? Like, you got guards on duty and stuff?
No. This is such a small town. I mean, all the soldiers are stationed here. Even though they're rowdy, they wouldn't try to do anything to the government bank. And no, we weren't expecting any trouble here.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he's just going to kind of look at Rufus like, come on, man.
Rufus will shake his head and go, I think that putting her in a cell is the best option we have for now. We can always take her on to the next town and see if the sheriff there will pay the bounty, since your sheriff seems to have disappeared for a spell.
Yeah, I could sit there if we want. I mean, I can watch her.
Oh, jolly, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's better than blowing up stuff, right?
The banker introduces himself as David Ellis, and he tells you that his suggestion is that when the lieutenant or the sergeant gets back to tell them what is going on, they can probably have some soldiers help guard her. That's his suggestion, or since the sheriff is gone. But he takes you down to the sheriff's office. He opens it up, and you go in the back. Jimmy, you've never seen that ever closed interior door. You open it up, and are some cells in there. You're able to secure Crackshot Christine into a cell.
And Rufus will say, I'm sorry, darling. I wish it had gone another way.
Oh, we could have had so much fun together, but your bad luck, not mine.
Hey, let me ask you something, though, darling. How much would you get from robbing a bank, hypothetically?
Well, as I said, I was really on my way to my sister's, and after visiting her, I was going to hit on one of those ocean liners, one of those big, beautiful ships, and
Yeah, look, I didn't ask about all that.
Well, look, I was going to Europe and never coming back, but oh well.
Okay, so going to Europe and never coming back. They live kind of high and mighty over there, right? So, like, how much? Like, 2,000?
More than that somber on your head cost. And she starts laughing to herself.
See, I think she's making it all up now. I don't even think robbing the bank is worth it.
And also, darling, I don't want to tell you, I don't know what kind of equipment you got down there, but I would try to move that pistol over onto your side because it's going to be bad when it misfires.
It ain't misfired yet. It's all right. I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good down there as it is.
All right, well.
I'm glad you noticed, though.
I guess I'll just sit here as long as and she looks over towards where Owen is and she says, "You look like a kind man. As long as you bring me something to eat. I mean, I do like a nice meal, and if I can't have my whiskey, I guess I'll have to drink the water."
Oh, water's good for you. And I'm sure we can get you a good meal. I'm just going to sit here and clean my shotgun while they tend to you. Because, I'd hate to just leave you here by yourself.
Well, I don't mind the company. I may not talk much, but if you'd like to tell stories, I'll listen to them.
Well, my wife always says I shouldn't talk either. So I'll just listen.
Well, okay. You are
So, what's
headed
the
back.
first story?
She goes to just kind of looking down, very sad and gloomy now that no one wants to tell her a story. And she sees Rufus probably walk off. And Molly, you're going to head to the silver mine to see what you can find. The banker is going to take the rest of y'all back to the bank because he wants to tell you something. But before he does, we're going to take a 5 minute Bible break and y'all can ponder exactly what you want to do next as Molly goes out to investigate the mine.
Excellent.
All right, I'm back.
I'm here too.
All right.
Thinking I should run off with the bank robber now, but
Yep, you could have made your escape and went to Europe. Or so she says.
Yeah. Well, she won't tell me how much she made, so I don't trust her. I mean, she'd give me a ballpark estimate, split that 6 ways.
well, who knows
And I
how
could
it'll
know
end.
if, the reward of $100 would be worth it. She ain't gonna tell me, 100 is better than nothing.
Next game, we'll come back to Ellis, the Misty, Dunn, Robin Banks.
Yep.
Yeah. I love how my character was the one that almost made the plot go completely another direction. Like, now, wait a minute, we got a bank robber. Why don't we just rob the bank? We'll make more money that way.
Well, you could add. There's a lot of options you got. All this
Yeah.
is a lot of this things you can do anything you want to.
I want to fly.
Rufus is a ladies' man, but I don't think he's a bank robber.
Yeah.
I get this feeling that like
And then
Owen's
it's
about to
even-
get shot.
Yeah.
and then it's even more funny because Ellis is like, wait a minute, but there's also not a sheriff in town. Like, we don't even have to worry about our faces on posters anymore. Like, that was your biggest ordeal. You don't want your face on a poster.
No, admittedly, I agree with you on that, but I think it was too late at that point.
Well, we can take her picture down. She's been
I
captured.
guess it's a good thing you didn't tell me there wasn't a sheriff around last night.
Yeah, it would be a shame
I
if
might would have an ally on the whole. Yeah, Molly might would have said, "Now wait a minute, Ellis has a point here."
it would be a shame if Owen fell asleep.
Yeah.
All Owen wants to do is get back to his farm.
Yep.
Jan, are you back yet? I will take that silence as a no. Molly, I can jump to you, though. You're going to the mine. We can start with you.
I am going to the mine.
Yep, you're going by yourself. You get to the mine, and it's about probably a 45-minute trip to go up into this hill range away from town. You easily find, the tracks, the wagon tracks and all that to get to it. It's quite a few of these young Chinese immigrants that are out there, working and stuff outside of the mine. It's different soldiers in uniforms walking back and forth. There doesn't appear to be any guards, per se. You pretty much ride right up to it, and one of them comes over to you and says, well, yes, ma'am, can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to see the sergeant. He said I could take a look at the mine. I'm very curious about it.
Well, just a moment. I will get Sergeant Smith for you. And you see him go to a tent and go inside a large tent. And he comes back out, and he holds the flap open. And you see the sergeant come out, and he waves at you. And in fact, he motions for you to come over to where he's at.
Okay, yeah, I definitely do.
Well, you did make it up a little bit later than I thought you would, but you made it up.
Yeah, there was a bit of a ruckus in town. I think a little fight or something at the saloon. So
Well, it better not been any of my soldiers who stayed behind this morning on sick call.
No, I didn't see any soldiers. It looked like possibly some of the boys I came in with. They can be a little rowdy sometimes too.
Well,
So,
you tell them to keep away from my soldier boys, because if they're both rowdy sorts, I don't want nothing bad to happen between anybody.
Yeah, I hear that. But
Well, this is our little piece of heaven here that you're looking at. hopefully we'll have this back open for the government soon and producing mine and silver again.
Oh, excellent. I've always been curious about that. So they dig the silver out of the ground here, and then that's what these workers are doing?
Yes, well, first we've got to get into and open it back up further in deep into the mine there itself, where the deposits are rumored to be. What the them suit coats that are fancy and go to places like Harvard and places like that. They have these degrees that tell us exactly where to go in there to find it.
Right. How they know that, I do not know.
I don't know either, and don't want to know.
It's very fascinating, though. So how long have you been here?
We've been here. Well, I could look at the date log, but we've been here at least a month or maybe 6 weeks now, at the most.
Oh wow, that's a while. And the town seems pretty nice, though, huh? It seems. I don't know if it's you guys keeping it in order or if the sheriff is good, but oftentimes these small towns I get harassed, but I've had no problems.
Well, it's usually us. I mean, the sheriff, he's an older guy, and you don't see him. He comes in every once in a while in the morning time, but he's gone before. Well, he's definitely gone when we come back. But I haven't seen him in a few days. But I try to keep these soldiers in line. I don't want them doing anything with the townsfolk that any of us will regret.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you said that you keep these Indians away, right? So we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah, they haven't bothered any of us yet. I mean, we have pretty good working relations with them. You'll see a few of them right on a ridge line out there, but I mean, we're not worried about them.
Oh, excellent. All right. I mean, she's kind of, as much as possible, I'm just kind of looking to see if it seems like that these Chinese immigrants are being like abused. Like, do I see like somebody being beat up or anything like that going on?
No, you don't see any physical violence against them. You see some of the other soldiers who are barking orders at them, though. I mean, no, put this over here. No, you're supposed to do,
Yeah, so they're not being nice
back and forth and kind of, but they seem to be very busy, staying very busy. And also, while you're doing that, roll me. I'll be 3d6. Roll me against your wits.
Okay. Okay, so that is 6-9, and my wits are. Where's my wits? My wits is 11, so that's under by 2.
Yeah, you as you're looking around, speaking to the sergeant, you notice some of the other soldiers in various areas. A few of them take notice of you and kind of give you not a very good look. I mean, they're like what is she doing here?
Yeah, I get that. Okay, but they just seem more like, man, this is our area. We shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like what are you doing up here? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to push a silver car. So what are you doing?
Oh, right. Yeah. So I don't get the feeling like they see me and then they like shove something under their jacket like they're hiding.
No, nothing like that. Nothing obvious. No.
All right. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. So I mean, I'll spend. I don't want to take too much of his time, so I will. Look around. If everything seems like I don't see anything obvious signs of, misdeeds to the immigrants or anything like that, and if the soldiers look like they're actually soldiers and working, in that, as much as I can tell, soldiers would be, then that'll make me satisfied, and I'll just say I'll thank the sergeant, and I'll give him the pie, of course. I forgot I had the pie.
Yep.
And I'll say, I brought this up for you. I appreciate your hospitality, and hopefully we'll see you back in town. I'll be here a couple more days.
Well, what flavor did you bring?
Huckleberry.
Well, I grew up on that, but I'll still eat it though, especially coming from a pretty young thing like you. Thank you, miss.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, Sergeant. And then she'll go back, get on her horse, and she'll ride back.
Yep, you go back to town, and while you're on your way back to town, we will jump back to the other three who follow the banker to the bank. Owen is in the jail, hopefully not going to get bushwhacked. But the three at the bank, you make your way into the bank. Mr. Ellis, he goes behind and he says, "Well, then there were four of you that captured this bank robber. Is that right?"
Uh,
Uh,
fi-
we got
five
a
of us.
yeah, we got a friend that helped in it too. He's just not around at the moment.
Oh, so five of you. Yes, yes. And just a moment. And Ed, bring me let's see. My math is very well. That would be $250 in cash. And you see Ed go into one of the cash drawers and brings it over to David, and he says, "Okay, there's five of you. The bank is giving you a reward of $50 cash each for capturing this bank robber, preventing us from being a victim of the terrible deed. And I am wiring the town next to us to have them contact the U.S. Marshals. But I will also ask that they send some of the deputies over, since our sheriff is missing, to help guard this prisoner till the marshals alive."
I don't want to be, difficult, sir, but I think the reward was 500.
Well, yes, yes, that's not through us, of course, though. That's through the marshal's office. You'll have to take that up with the marshal's office. I'm just doing this as the kindness of the Western Range Bank of you preventing us being robbed.
I see.
Sounds good. We'll just take this on over to the sheriff's office. If you'll you mention our names in that, we'll write them down for you, so we can get to them when we get to them.
Well, I'm sure it will take several days for the marshals to get here. They're not anywhere close, but hopefully the next town over that I can have a couple of the deputies be here in a day or two and help watch this prisoner.
Sounds good.
We'll take
But
the
I would be
cash.
sure and also inform the sergeant or the commanding officer of the cavalry when they get back, and explain to them what is going on. I'm sure they could probably have a soldier or two help out.
No problem.
Sounds nice.
Uh, I'll hold on to that extra 50 if y'all don't mind. I'll make sure to give it to Molly when she comes in.
Just see that you do, Ellis.
Yeah. You don't think you could trust me?
I trust Ellis with my life, right, Ellis?
That's what I'm talking about, Jimmy. And
Yeah,
he pats Jimmy on the shoulder.
And he's the one that's teaching me how to play poker.
You'll be a legend by the time I'm through with you, friend.
Oh, and we jump back to you at the sheriff's office. You see Misty Crackshot, whatever she goes by on this day. She's almost like a child now. She becomes really sullen and withdrawn, as she sits there maybe contemplating her fate now. And, she doesn't do anything or say anything. She just sits there and nothing else happens with you, Owen, at the moment.
I will keep talking, such as and there's this other ridiculous thing. I was talking to this mountain man, and I got to thinking that you were hooked up with the army, and that mine, that silver mine, was actually like your hideout. And then this old guy is going to go up there and blow it up, and I was going to help him, but then I got talked out of it. Can you imagine that? And here you are, you're just a bank robber, while just working by yourself. I think that's pretty funny. I do. I don't know about you. I know you're looking down, but that would be funny for me.
She ignores you at first until you get to the end of the story, and she looks at you kind of puzzled, and she goes, "A mule kicked you in the head when you was a child, huh?"
No, I just no.
Oh. Okay, you must be one of those sod farmers then.
Well, no, it's not sod. I actually tried farming with wheat and that, but that kind of dried up.
I wonder why.
Yeah. But that's okay. But now I'm going to have some money, and I can make another go of it, or I can move Carolyn and Matthew, and we could go someplace else.
Well,
Maybe
no, wait,
someplace.
The real handsome guy that's with you, the guy who wears the red bandana, when's he gonna come keep guard on me?
Rufus? I don't know.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, Rufus Nash.
Yeah, why don't you maybe y'all could trade out like right now?
Well, I'm just gonna stay here for a while, and then when they show up, then maybe I'll leave.
You see she withdraws back into herself.
And I will continue cleaning my shotgun and regaling her with other stupid stories.
Marley, you make it back into town. I don't know the Evergrey. Of course, you probably know one of them's at the sheriff's office guarding the prisoner or so. You don't know wherever you want to stop at first when you come back in. The rest of them are.
Yeah, I will probably go right back to the sheriff's office because I know that Owen's there.
Yep, our other three. Where would y'all went after leaving the bank?
We should probably give Owen or Jolly his share of the money.
So on the
Yeah,
way
I'll
back, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so on the way back, Jimmy would be like, um, so she is working all by herself, you think? Or do you think there are more people?
She was definitely alone. I
I
tell
think
you what. Oh,
I think she's alone too. Just have a feeling.
I don't know. I worry about Owen. He's there all by himself, and if some other posse that belongs to the bank robber were to go there, he would be in trouble.
all right, I tell you what. She said something about needing some food anyway. I'll take her some gruel and give Owen his money. Release him from duty.
Oh, I think she could eat better than gruel. I'll come with you, and I'll bring her some nice food from the watering hole or the hotel, whichever has the nicest food.
All right, now
Oh,
Rufus, I gotta teach you a business lesson here now. This is something my pappy always said to me. He said, "Now, Ellis, the more you burn, the less you earn." Give her some gruel, she'll be fine.
Well, I feel bad about hitting her. I could have just grappled her to begin with, so I'm going to take her at least one nice meal.
I'm gonna go to Owen right away. I will see you back at the sheriff's office.
All right.
Yep, Cactus Jimmy, you make your way to the sheriff's office and find Owen there, telling his stories and cleaning his shotgun. Ellis, you and Rufus are going back to the hotel to get a good meal.
Yeah.
And Molly, we'll say you make it back to the sheriff's office before Ellis and Rufus make it back over there. So when you go there, it'll be Owen and Cactus Jimmy.
Okay. Yeah. So I come in and I go behind and put my horse up, and I come in and I say, "Oh, so Owen, we should talk."
About what?
Yeah, something on my horse over here. Come, I want you to look at it. I know you got a lot of experience with that.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that horse.
Cactus, keep an eye on this this one here.
Yeah, she's a slippery one.
You got it, Miss Molly.
She tried to get me to walk away.
Oh no.
Yeah. So just keep an eye on her.
Yep.
Yeah, you're hard to trick, Owen. So I'm surprised.
I know. I'm a little surprised too, because I thought she would have left by now.
Yeah, so when I get Owen out like away, I say, so we're probably sitting in front and make sure there's nobody around. I say, so I went to the mine, and everything there looks very proper from what I can tell.
Good.
The workers are working hard, but they don't seem to be being abused from what I can see. The sergeants seem to be everybody in line. I don't see any problems with the Indians. It looks to me like the place is being run completely and totally normal.
So Bobcat is crazy.
Well, I don't know that either, but I don't know that blowing it up is necessarily what we should do. I think that we could always inquire at the next town.
Well, then what are we going to do? We should probably stop Bobcat from blowing it up,
That's probably a good idea.
because I think, isn't he supposed to do it tonight? I think he said,
Ah.
or was it 2 nights?
You had, yeah, you would know. Oh, when you were supposed to meet him kind of on the morning of the 3rd day, so you'd have one. This is coming to the end of the 2nd day, so you're supposed to meet him out there at that crossroads the next morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we ought to maybe have a conversation with this gentleman and make sure that he doesn't do anything too rash.
Well, I'm meeting him in the morning, so we could go out then.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Hold on, just a minute. He said he was going to blow it up at night, but if I'm meeting him in the morning, does that mean he's already blown it up?
I wasn't there,
Yeah, that's right.
so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we
but I
should just
thought that he said that he needed our help blowing it up. So
right. And he said he was going to blow it up at night, but then why would I be meeting him in the morning? That's fine.
maybe
Sometimes I misunderstand things.
no, that is curious.
Unless he
But
wanted us to.
My opinion on this is that I don't think we should do anything rash. I think maybe we should try to prevent him from also doing something rash.
Well, it wouldn't be rash because I've been thinking about it for a while. And,
Well,
so it's not like I'm just running out and doing it. I've
Well, I
thought
think
about
it
it
was-
a couple of days.
I think in the scheme of things, though, blowing something up without enough information is rash, even if it's not immediate.
Right. I
think
should
rash
probably
can
listen to you.
Well,
Carolyn would probably want me to listen to you.
and I'm not saying that he's wrong, then that they might not actually be soldiers, but I think maybe we probably should not be part of this in this manner.
Well, since we're doing good, why don't we just stop Bobcat from blowing it up? Then we're saving everybody we could probably get another reward.
I think we should probably stop Bobcat from blowing it. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm saying.
What we need to do is make sure this time, though, that Ellis does not almost shoot me twice.
Yes, that would be a good thing. Is that what it was?
And the thing is, I know it was Ellis because he's the one with the rifle, so I could definitely hear the difference in the guns. Okay, so let's not say anything in front of the lady, because just in case we are wrong and she is somehow part of it, because we don't know.
Oh, I already talked to her about it. It's all fine. I don't think she is.
Okay.
I told her the whole thing, and she was just kind of got sad. So, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I don't think she's part of it.
Good.
Yeah, it was, because I mean, I had to tell somebody, and
yeah, I mean, why not tell the criminal? Yeah. No, I mean, there's no better person to tell something to than a wanted criminal. That's like.
Well, she's not going anywhere. She's in the jail, and she was feeling down, and I thought it was kind of funny, so I would cheer her up.
I see.
Because, I mean, when you think about it, I was listening to a crazy man saying that he wanted to blow up a mine, that I thought that she was this criminal mastermind and that was her hideout. I mean, I think that's funny now.
I mean, maybe you could write your own story in one of these, nickel magazines.
I think I will.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would read it.
I bet you would. Okay, well, I mean, I'm just going to wait for the rest to come back. I think at this point, as long as we keep her under wraps, I wouldn't really do much else till the morning, unless somebody wants to do something.
Okay, so we're not doing anything till the morning.
Well, I think so. I mean, that's
Okay.
I guess when the rest of the group gets together, we can figure that out. But from the point of view of Molly, she's basically.
Are you guys going to come back to the hotel, or?
Yeah,
Before,
exactly.
like Ellis
Yeah, if you guys are at the hotel, that's where we're going to go.
Rufus, are
Okay,
you
so-
staying with the prisoner?
Well,
Yeah, I thought everybody was ending up at the jail eventually, so we were waiting for you, basically.
Yeah, I'll bring her food, and I'll say that I'll take the watch since we don't have anyone else to guard her, and relieve Jolly and Cactus Jimmy.
Rufus,
Yes.
do I need to lock you in there with her and take the key?
Well, I can watch both of them.
I don't think that'd be necessary, Miss Molly.
All right, because I mean, she is a pretty girl.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So Cactus Jimmy, in the meanwhile, is just sitting right in front of the cell. He's talking to her about his 7 siblings, and he's just going on and on and on about like all his stupid stories, just like Owen was doing.
This poor woman, she's gonna die. Terrible stories.
She listens to you, Cactus, and then she goes, "Well, it must be nice. I just have one sister, but I'll never get to see her again now."
You know what, Miss Molly?
It's sad.
You can I'll go in there with her for the night. She's had these two talking at her all day. Maybe I can tell her something better.
Yeah.
Where does your sister live?
Oh, up the coast here.
Maybe we could let her know where you're captured so that she could attend the trial.
Do you really think my sister knows the life that I lead?
Then you should be glad that she doesn't see you. I'm glad that my family doesn't see me.
Well, Molly comes in, kind of hearing that as she's bringing in Rufus, and she says, "You know, I think that no matter what goes on in life, family's family. You got to have your kid in there. If you want, we can let your sister know. Not your sister, Jimmy, but."
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
told
It's
Jimmy's
okay.
sister about. That's weird.
All right, so my proposition is that we disarm Rufus and we put him in the cell with her, and then we lock him in, and then we know we're good.
Yeah, what better way to keep an eye on somebody?
Yeah, yeah. You can guard, and that way we don't have to worry about anything. And yeah, we'll come get you in the morning.
Just be sure you do, Miss Molly.
Oh, I will. And I take the key and
Mhm.
I walk out.
is there a way to like get up on top of the building? On the roof?
Well, you could try to make a reflex check and see if you can get up there without hurting yourself.
I mean, like, is there a second floor, or
To
is
the
it
jail?
just
No,
yeah?
no, it's just so it's a very small single story.
Okay, all right. Well, Jimmy says I will guard the jail outside, just in case some other bandits, bank robbers, come to try to release her.
I have a question real quick, Tony.
All right.
I think this is up for the GM to decide, but I was just thinking about it in the rules. But could we have gained some renown for capturing this woman?
Yeah, let me go down and read something real quick. I mean, there weren't too many. Of course, some of the soldiers were there when it all went down. There was, the banker and some of the townsfolk and all that, of course, were.
Maybe once she actually gets turned in.
Yeah, I mean, you probably would later, is if when the maybe when the marshals get there, or at least the neighboring towns deputies get there to take custody of her, or something like that, and more people know about it. Probably
Yeah. Okay.
we can try
Nice.
that.
All right, Ellis. Let's drink away our blues.
As you come in, Molly, Ellis will greet you, and as you sit down, he'll say, Now, Molly, I already know you find me irresistible, but why don't you just go ahead and spend the night with me?" And as he says that, he's going to place $50 on the table.
So Molly's going to reach over and take the $50, and she's going to say, "Oh, that's perfect." And she's going to call over the blonde and go upstairs with her.
All right, Molly is going to be staying at the watering hole, it looks like, for the rest of the evening. Ellis, you are drinking by yourself again.
Where's that redhead at?
They tell you that she had the night off. She was in too much fear from what happened earlier. They gave her the night off.
Well, looks like it's just you and me, buddy, Ellis says to no one in particular.
Well, Owen's there.
Like, Owen probably thinks that Ellis says that to him, but he's...
But yeah, if there's nothing special, of course, the army comes back in pretty much on schedule at early dusk, or some of the soldiers will come out. You do not see the sergeant, and you've never seen the ranking officer, the lieutenant, or some people keep calling him captain, but you've never seen him again since that one day he come out to get the sergeant on the men. You haven't never seen him again. But if there's anything special anybody would want to do that night, or you do not see the banker. He does not come in for any type of meal or anything. Nobody sees the sheriff again. He still hasn't been seen.
Jimmy's got to climb up, actually. Does he find any ladder nearby?
Yeah, you work your way up there. Just make a reflex.
Okay.
To get up there.
8 under 13. Yep, make it by 5.
Yep, you get on top of the roof of the sheriff's office.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah,
Rufus will have a special night with Crackpot Christie.
Yep. It looks like you and Molly probably had the best nights of all.
I don't know what you hear, Jimmy. Just close your ears.
Yeah, he's got his rifle out. He's just guarding the place.
Yep, nothing happens. Ellis, you drink your sorrows away and maybe pass out, and I have to help you back to the hotel. Owen, anything you want to do?
Early to bed, early to rise.
Because you got to meet your man just after daylight, he told you.
Exactly.
All right, we go to day 3 then, the morning of day 3. Nothing happens during the night to alert anybody to anything going nefarious deeds. There may be some under the sheet deeds going on, but nothing nefarious. So, yeah, we're on day 3 of the morning. Owen, are you going to take anybody with you, or how are you going to handle that?
I'm going to find Molly.
They tell you the last time they saw her, she was at the hotel, at the watering hole.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go to the watering hole. I'll try tracking her down.
Yeah.
You see her come walking down the stairs with the blonde.
Hey, Molly, are we going to go meet Bobcat?
Yep. Yeah. Stretches. Yeah. Let's do it. I think. I'm about ready now.
You look awful tired.
She looks and her pistol's been well oiled. Yes, she gets her gun belt on, and she gives the blonde a tip, I guess, or whatever it's called. And off we go.
Yep. So it's just you two going out to meet the Bobcat man?
Yep.
All right.
Unless somebody else wants to come along. Because I'm sure Owen has alerted everyone to what is actually happening.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say somebody shouldn't come if anybody wants to come.
I'm in jail.
Ellis woke up with a hangover, so he's going to drink some Jack to cure it.
All right. Ellis is drinking whiskey?
Yeah. Actually, probably before we leave now, I'll pull the key out that I have for the jail cell, and I'll toss it. I'll see Ellis, and I'll be like, Ellis, I can't thank you enough. I'll take care of you next time. And I toss him the key.
Oh, Ellis is gonna go. Is gonna go get to release Rufus then.
Yeah.
Only if you want to, darling.
I mean, I've already said that, like, Ellis just like he like downs the rest of the whiskey, tosses the bottle over in the corner, and then like folds the blanket back over himself.
You have the keys to the jail cell. Jimmy, you are on top of the building. You probably would see or hear Owen and Molly leaving out. You make your way out there, Owen, and he's waiting for you when you get there. And he goes, "Well, I was getting worried you wasn't coming. Are you going to help me?"
Well, it's probably not the kind of help that you want.
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to help you by taking away your dynamite so you don't hurt anybody.
Oh no, you're in with them then, aren't you? You're in with those soldier boys.
No, Molly, you want to explain this to him? Because I think...
Yeah, I draw my pistol. And I say, listen, we believe you, but I think the approach that you're making is wrong. We're about to head out to the next big town. We're going to alert the government. Give us the dynamite, sit tight, and this will be taken care of.
They murdered the Indians, though. There's going to be an uprising soon, and they're going to destroy this town. We've got to stop the soldiers now. Tonight is the night.
How about this? As far as all the Indians that I saw, and now, granted, I did not speak with them, but they all seemed pretty content. They were riding their horses on the ridge, very majestically. Perhaps you could bring us to one of these Indians and who can give their side of it. That way I'll have more information when we bring this information to the government.
And in the meantime, I'll take care of the dynamite for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Owen is a dynamite specialist. Let's give the dynamite.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what the dynamite is. I don't trust you now.
Oh, well,
We're not going to let you out of our sight.
Bobcat, you can trust us. I'm good folk. You're good folk.
Well, if you're good folk, you would do the right thing. These soldiers, I'm telling you, I think they're all a bunch of I think the government's looking for them.
You think? You're so sure before. Now you just think.
Well, they're up to no good. I know they are.
And isn't it true that every man is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in front of his peers? Who are you to judge?
Yes.
Was your dad, was he that judge that was west of the Pecos?
Listen, this country is founded on freedom and choice and justice in the American way.
Yes.
So I'm not going to condemn nor put people into a dangerous situation based on just one man's word, no matter how much of a nice man you might be. So either you've got more proof from the Indians that we can bring, we get a judge to come down here, and they take care of it.
Well, I don't think the Indians are going to trust you. They don't know you. I've had a working relationship with them for years. I don't think they're going to talk to you. But
let's all talk to them together then.
Well, no. You just can't. What are you going to do then to help me? Then, if you're not going to help me do the only thing I know to do, what's your plan?
We're going to go to the next town. We're going to speak to the marshal.
Right after we get the dynamite.
They're going to telegraph to the Washington, D.C. And we're going to find out if these soldiers are actually supposed to be here or if they are, in fact, deserters, as you say. If you are correct, then the army will come and take care of them. And that will end this whole situation.
Well, you need to go. You're not going to be able to go to the next little town. You're going to have to go to San Francisco. It's going to take you time to get there. That's the only place I would trust. That's where
Well, we can all go together.
Well, I'm not traveling there. I'm a mountain man.
What?
No, we're going to end up in San Francisco because that's where Jimmy's from. Did you see Jimmy?
Yeah. San Francisco's in the mountains. It's just
true.
in the valley in between the mountains.
That is also true. Yeah.
While Molly was, talking about the American value, you see a cutscene of Jimmy, coming into the harbor of, on the boat, and you see the American flag waving. San Francisco.
So yeah, I say, listen, I think you're a good man, but honestly, we need that dynamite, and I need to know that you're not going to do anything, or else I'm going to have to take you in. And I don't want to have to do that.
Or we can all work together and we'll go to San Francisco and we'll just let this sit for a day or two.
Okay, look, I'm not going to the big city. I hate the big city. Why do you think I live in the mountains?
Well,
I mean,
that's
come on.
Okay. Well, then why do you want, you don't trust the city. I don't trust your dynamite.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Can I see the dynamite? Because it might be bad dynamite. I mean, it might be old dynamite.
It's true.
And then
I'll tell you what, I've got a solution.
Yeah.
Let me go to the Indian reservation and talk to them.
Let's go together.
No, you're not going because they don't trust you. They're not going to trust you. You're outsiders.
Well,
listen,
they trust you, and then they can trust me too. And then both of them trust us, and we trust each other.
I'm going to see the Indians. You all go to San Francisco. I will not blow the mind up until you get back and tell me what they said. How about that?
Okay, but can I check on the dynamite at least? Because I'm scared you might blow yourself up.
Nope. Look at me. Do you see? I am experienced in living in the outdoors.
Right, but are you experienced with blowing stuff up? I use it on gopher holes. I cut them up and I use them in gopher holes. What do you blow up?
He looks at you with his mouth open and he doesn't say anything. And then he thinks for a minute. And he goes, well, I've had it for years. I've just never used it.
See, and that's why I need to look at it. Because, I mean, it just could be old and then it gets dangerous. And then we blow ourselves up before we even have a chance to blow the mine up.
Roll me a 3d6 on your wits, Owen. Oh, no.
No.
How bad you fail?
Yes. How bad did I fail?
Yeah, how bad?
By 6.
All right. He ponders for a moment and he goes, well, you don't kill gophers with dynamite. You put the rock salt down there and it just poisons them. No, you're not going to see my dynamite. I don't trust you now.
No, because if you put salt in the ground, nothing grows.
No,
so you have to blow it up. Yeah, no. I used to be a farmer. No, I still am a farmer. I am a farmer, and I know how to not grow stuff.
He crosses his arms and he looks over at Molly and he goes, that's the best I can do. I will go out to the reservation and stay out there for a few days until you get back from San Francisco and see what the government tells you.
I can't let you leave with dynamite.
I don't have it with me. It's not with me. It's one of my hideaways up in the hills.
Right. We need to see it. I say.
Roll me 3d6 on your wits.
All right. I don't know if it matters that I'm pointing my gun at him, but.
Yeah, roll. I'll tell you what, I'll give you advantage. Roll 2d6.
Okay. Well, that's good because I got 8, a 5, and a 3. That's below. My wits are 11, I think. So I think I got it by 3.
He says, well, okay, but just you. Your friend here, I don't trust him anymore. I think he's on the soldier side. I'll take just you.
Okay.
You could trust me, Bobcat.
No, I thought I did it first, but I think you've been drinking too many gallons of whiskey with those soldiers.
No, spring water. That's all I drink is spring water. The bottled spring water. I don't think it's actually from a spring, but that's all I've been drinking.
Well, I think it's got too many minerals in it. It's affected you.
I'm gonna go to my saddle, but he's on foot, right?
Yeah, he's actually on foot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually reach in my saddlebag and get out like a trail cracker or whatever, like we would eat. And I'll take a little bite and be like, "Well, I'm famished," and I'll kind of like as I jump off, I'll tap Owen and I'll like crunch it a little bit in my hand so I leave some crumbs on the ground, and I'll kind of look down at it, and then I'll follow him, hoping that he doesn't see me do that, and that Owen does see me. That's a lot of hoping, but
does Owen really understand what you're saying?
That's the question. You tell me. I'm doing a Hansel and Gretel.
Yes. I think his Hansel just Greteled away.
Yeah, you can do that, Owen. Sure, that's a great idea. You can do that, Owen.
I mean, if you think that you say, yeah, I mean, and of course, at this point, if he's agreeing, I put the gun away and put it. I take it with me. Clearly, I put it on my back of my pistol, trying to diffuse the situation. And I say,
yeah, and after you, Molly, and then Bobcat leave, he's talking to you and telling you about stories of him living in the hills. He doesn't even look around to see if you're being followed by Owen, of course, and he takes you up to a place in the hills there and undercovers a little tarp deal. And he shows you, he says, well, it's that box right there. Now be careful though, girlie, because if you've never used it before.
I probably have never used dynamite before, I'm guessing. So I say, yeah, I don't know much about it. I know that if it swells up, it's dangerous though. Let's take a look at it. Be careful.
Yeah, he pries the lid off, and you see about a half box full of dynamite. Some of it has been leaking. Some of it has not been.
Okay, yes, that definitely looks dangerous. I say, okay, yeah, I'm no expert, but I think that's okay. So which way is the reservation? You're going to head there, and we're going to go to San Francisco.
He points, back in another direction you've never been. He says, the reservation's that way of where I would need to go to stay with them.
Okay, so we'll meet you, and I start walking away from the stuff. I'm only going to get far enough away that I can still see it, and then I'm going to draw my pistol and shoot the dynamite.
Oh my gosh. How far do you want to get away?
I mean...
Well, I was just going to light it and run, but if you want to do that...
Well, if it's... Well, I'm not sure if you're following... Well, the thing is that because it's leaky, I think I'll feel like it's dangerous to throw a match at it. I mean, I think from a distance of, I don't know, like 50, 60 feet. Actually, I'm going to shoot it, hopefully, and tackle him into the ground, so that hopefully to protect him, so we don't die. But that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, make a reflex shot at it. Let's see.
Let's see if I even hit it to start off with. Oh, actually, wow. All right. 2 1s and a 2, so 4. And my reflex is... What's my reflex? I mean, it's more than 4, clearly. My reflex is 12.
All right. You hit it. Make another reflex save. Just 3d6. I'll see how well it goes for you and him to hit the ground.
Right. Okay, that one not so good. 15 failed by 3.
And your hit points are at 54 right now?
Yeah, 54.
Reduce them by, let me see something real quick.
Reduce them by 103.
Reduce them by 14 as this explosion goes off and some of it rattles down and hits you and him both. So you'll lose about quarter HP. So reduce it by 14. Let me see. Let me see his HP again.
God, I hope I didn't kill him.
Hopefully you didn't kill him. Let's see.
Yeah.
He is going to, he'll lose. He loses some. He loses 7. He's hurt, but he's still alive. But yeah, you probably hear this, Owen. I mean, I don't know how far you're behind by now, but you hear all that happening.
Yeah, I'll go running up there.
You're on your way running up there. Bobcat jumps up. He pulls out his large knife and he lunges at you, Molly.
Uh-oh.
Because he thinks you're on their side now. So roll a d6.
Of course he does. 1d6. 2.
All right. You will get to go first. He's lunging at you with his mad look in his eyes.
All right. I shoot him.
You shoot him?
I mean, I have a gun in my hands. Yeah. I didn't want to, but 11 under 12. So like I said, it's...
Yep. Roll some damage.
Okay. So it's D8 for the pistol, right? Let's see. 7.
All right, you hurt him pretty bad. He's still up though. He is going to lunge at you with this knife, so make an iron test.
Oh boy. Oh, poor Molly. That's 10, and my iron is 12, actually. So I'm good.
You're able to get out of the way then. Another D6 for the next round before Owen gets there.
3.
You go first again.
Okay. Oh man. Does he look really hurt?
Yeah, you would tell he's between the dynamite and the shot. He looks pretty hurt.
I want to flip the pistol around and try to butt him, like hit him with the butt of it, like.
All right, you can do that.
To like knock him out. Because I don't want to kill him if I can avoid it. So is that now that's iron instead of reflexes, or is this?
Yeah, that'd be a melee iron.
Okay, so that's 6. So that's 6 under 12. So that hits.
Yep. Roll some damage.
Yeah. Would that be now what?
I'm gonna say since you actually, I'm gonna just say D6.
Okay. Oh, 4.
Yeah, he's still standing up. But you knocked some sense into him maybe now or out of him. He's going to try to jab you again with that knife. So test your iron.
Oh boy. Oh, and I'm on. Oh no. As he jams into me. Oh, and I'm on your. That was 14.
That's a fail.
Yep.
You will take 2, 4, 6, 7 points of damage in as he jabs the knife into you.
Okay, yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
Okay, we are next to the next round, so roll. Oh, you see Owen running up though about this time, but roll for us, Molly. D6.
Okay.
We got a 1.
I also got a 1. So
all right, y'all go first then.
Okay. Oh, damn it! I'm pissed off and I want to shoot him, but I'm not going to. Because I feel like he's a crazy old man, so I don't really want to kill him. 10, so that should succeed.
Yep, that succeeds. You're going to try to knock him out.
Yeah, so D6 with the knockout. 6. Oh, it explodes, right?
Yep, that explodes. So, yep, roll again.
Oh my God, another 6. 12.
Oh God, roll again.
And then 2, so 14.
He's down on the ground, not moving at all now.
Yeah. I was trying to knock him out, but
yeah, you may have gave him some brain injury by now, but he's down and out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna like kick his knife away.
He is down and out of it for now.
Damn.
You see him shallowly breathe. He's still breathing though.
Okay, yeah. I mean, she like reaches down. She's probably got a big gash on her arm or something for where you got her with the knife, and she like pulls out her bandana and starts to tie it off. Looking at the poor old man. She's gonna take his belt off and like tie his hands together or whatever. And she's waiting. Hopefully, Owen will show up eventually.
Yep, Owen, you're here about the last stroke of that.
And Owen will look at her and go, "I told you dynamite was dangerous."
Yeah, I think we probably should have maybe come back after him, blown it up. But I was a little bit rash. That's actually what she was gonna do, and then all of a sudden I was just like, I don't know why I decided to do that. So yeah, she says that, and she says, help me get him back to town. We got to get him a little doctor in this guy.
Said, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And I'll help.
Yeah, I mean,
y'all can take your time, get him back to town.
Yeah, and I'll pick up his knife and stuff too. Like I'll collect his stuff, so we're not leaving it out here. I mean, I'm not looting him. I'm just taking it.
Yep, you're on your way back to town. As our other 3 are in town, nothing exciting is going on. Y'all you probably wouldn't have heard the explosion. If you did, you wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together what was going on. But the other 3 in town, anything y'all would want to be doing during this time?
Well, if he did hear it, then he's going to look up into the sky and say, well, there must have been another railroad accident.
You can call it that.
Hey, Jimmy, do you have the key?
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing.
As you hear,
Right?
as you hear Rufus calling out, Jimmy, do you have the key? It's like you can see his voice like fades out over, like, can't get out of the office or anything. And then Ellis is like, and then it shows Ellis like, and he like snuggles up in his blankets more.
Yeah, Jimmy walks in and says, I thought Molly had it.
Well, I'd like to get out of here. We had a good night, but I'd like to leave now if that's possible.
And then complete silence.
Awkward moment.
That's great.
He just turns around and leaves.
Yeah,
Huh.
not much I can do.
Yep, Rufus, you're stuck in, and she's of course chatting your ear up. I mean, of course, so most definitely.
When did you meet my parents?
Yeah,
Right. This is why I
thought
never talked to him.
she's talking about all the things you could have done over in Europe together, on all the places you could have seen and all that.
Hmm.
Oh, and you and Molly and our knocked out Bobcat get back to town. You find the doctor. Somebody takes you to the doctor. Or do you explain to him what happened, or no? How do you explain it, Molly?
Yeah, I mean, we'll bring him to the doctor, and I'll say, I don't know if you've seen this man around, but I think maybe he got some ideas in his head, and I had to take him out or put him to sleep. I had to put him to sleep for his own good. So don't put that knife too close to him. When he gets up, he might not be too happy. He was playing with some very old dynamite.
Yep, and the doctor says, he knows Bobcat from coming into town. And the poor old man, the sun's got to him through the years of him being out there, and he'll take good care of him, get him back to health.
Yeah, and I leave him since I didn't have to spend any of my money on the prostitute because I used all Crystal's money. I'll give the doctor the cash, whatever, a little more than whatever necessary to help Bobcat get back going once after. And like I said, I'll leave his stuff. But I will warn the doctor to be careful to give him the knife until later.
Huh.
Actually, I might need
$50
I probably hang out there too once he gets him stabilized.
That $50 was yours. Remember, Ellis said he was going to hold on to it. So he was trying to get you to sleep with him, but not actually spend anything.
Yeah.
Because it was your money anyway.
Yeah, because Ellis never told you that was actually the bank money, but the banker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I didn't know that. I just thought that was right. So right.
Yeah. So you think you ripped off Ellis, but
oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Oh my God, too funny.
Day 3 progresses.
She didn't know anything about that.
Nope, you did not. Day 3
you
will
really are the
progress in. Y'all all meet back up together. Ellis, you finally get woke up, and go get Rufus out of the pleasure dome. He's probably hurt enough, of course, but now his ears are filled with all of his promise of what they could have done together. But all of y'all meet up that afternoon at evening before the soldiers get back from the mine. What y'all's plan?
Well, I explained everything what happened, that he was going to use this old dynamite to blow this up, and that I had to destroy the dynamite. Probably not in the most efficient way.
You're thinking he was just crazy then, huh, Molly? He was just nutso?
I mean, just because he's nutso doesn't mean he isn't right. So I still think when we get to the next town, we need to just make sure that everything's on the up and up. Maybe just a telegraph or something. But to me, these soldiers look straight.
But you heard that the soldiers murdered Indians?
Well,
and that they're going to take revenge?
That's what the old man said, but I didn't see any issue with the Indians up there. I mean, not that I was up there.
If he did tell you that that night was the only night, then there's a very good chance that the Indians are going to attack.
Well,
we may have to get ready for a battle.
You mean the Indians are going to attack the mine?
No,
or they're going to attack us.
The town.
Well, you did say that the old man told you that Indian was going to attack the town. We better tell the soldiers.
Well, I don't think that that he meant tonight that was going to attack the town. I think he meant that if the soldiers didn't leave eventually, because otherwise his plan was definitely not going to work. You're right, because you need to give them time to leave. You might be right, though. Maybe we should tell the soldiers. I'm concerned that if the man crazy as he was onto something, and we tell the soldiers that we let the soldiers know that we might know that they might actually not be real soldiers, that could be bad for us. And we're supposed to leave town tomorrow anyways. I think that we should just ride it out.
We don't have to tell him everything. We could just simply say that the old man talked to the Indians and that they were going to attack.
Okay. No, you're right. That's a good idea. All right. You've convinced me. You're very wise.
It is like the ancient ones said.
He's been hanging around Ellis too long.
Yeah, Ellis the brains. And I still don't know that I got ripped off because probably nobody would mention to me. It just never comes up in conversation. Like a year from now, we'll all be in a bar somewhere and be like, "Yeah, we get that $250." And be like, "What?"
Yeah, Cactus is like the wise Confucius says, when the Indian attacks, the cowboys must tell the soldiers.
Oh wow, that's very specific.
Say that, Jimmy.
That's very specific. I like it.
It is true. You have never seen me lie.
Are we doing like what happens after, or are we still in the game?
We're not quite finished yet. We're getting
Okay, all
close.
right. I was just, it sounded like we were wrapping up. I wasn't sure. Sorry.
It may be, depending on
what happens.
the ideal we have right now that's been presented is for you, one of y'all or two or three of you to contact the soldiers when they come back in. But unless anybody else had any other ideas on what y'all want to do, that's up to y'all.
I mean,
I think we should tell them everything.
Okay, so let's not have Owen go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think you probably should stay behind.
What,
I mean,
I
got a pretty
is Rufus there, or is he still locked in prison?
No, Rufus is out.
where are
He's
we at
out.
right
Y'all are all in a group together. This is later that afternoon.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
but-
I'm making sure I'm there and stuff. Like I
Yeah,
thought I
you're
was still in bed asleep. Okay.
Nope, you're out.
No,
you're
there.
out. You're back to yourself.
So if you're talking about like telling the guards, like Ellis would like to say, like, I mean, I just think Bobcat was crazy. I don't think we tell anyone anything. It's just, I mean, like,
well, it's easy enough.
Molly said that, if anything, if they think the Indians are dangerous, they might provoke an attack with them.
That's true.
And then we would have started a war.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You
You really are smart.
Yeah, you are the brains.
That's
You
what they
really
say.
earned that nickname, Ellis.
I think outside the box. That's what they say.
How about we just take the prisoner and go towards the next town so that we could meet the deputies on their way here?
And abandon our charge with the wagon train.
No, we
Yeah,
could
leave it.
leave. We could leave early. There's no reason why we have to stay in this town for another day. We could just wait out and wait for our schedule in the next town.
Yeah, you would actually
I
know,
thought-
Rufus. You would actually know, Rufus, that once you drop this a load off for the mercantile company you work for, but you actually don't have to wait around here. They just gave you some days off, and on day 4 is when you go to your next job. That they just
I didn't
okay.
realize that.
they told you to hang around. I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding on that. You were just kind of having some vacation days there right now.
All right.
perfect.
Yeah, I misunderstood. Sorry.
No, me too. So let's get the hell out of here. Then.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's leave.
All
But
right.
what about the Indians
Let the
and the
soldiers
massacre?
let the soldiers worry about the Indians.
Okay.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But someone else can lead the prisoner because I've done had enough of her chatter the rest of my days.
Yeah,
That's
Jimmy
funny
volunteered.
because she never talked to me.
Well, my friend, you dodged more than several bullets.
Y'all
Yeah,
would know it's probably roughly an hour before dark Like I say, this is the end of day 3. So, I mean, do you want to leave at night or wait till morning of day 4?
No, I think we should wait till the morning. Well, let's leave right at daybreak. Let's stay in the jail, which is probably the safest place to be. Let's all just stay here.
Well, if we leave tonight, we don't have to pay for the hotel.
Well, if we stay in the jail, we don't have to.
I know it's probably not ideal for Rufus, but
okay.
Make me some earplugs.
Yeah. I think if we stay here, then we can guard the prisoner and leave first thing in the morning without causing any kind of ruckus. And then if something does happen, at least we're here where it's secure.
You're wise, Miss Molly.
So do I get to sleep in a cell tonight, or do I have to watch everybody?
No, you can. We're going to take turns. Everybody can take turns sleeping.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
We roll out our bedrolls and we just do it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay. And that's what we're going to do unless anybody has another plan.
Yep, and you're not approaching, not speaking to the soldiers when they get back, right?
No, I guess we're just not going to say anything to them. We're just going to stay here unless they say something to us first.
All right. The next morning, do you want to try to leave out before they head out with their workers to the mine, or wait till they leave first?
Well, that's a good question. They leave like at first light. I want to leave
they leave pretty early too, most of them.
Yeah, I mean, if we can leave like just as the sun's coming up and that beats them, then I would do that. Otherwise, I would wait till after they were gone, so they don't even see us. I'd rather just avoid them.
All right. And you're going to take a crack shot Christine with you, and you're going to the next town, or hopefully maybe meet these deputies on the way?
That is the plan.
All right. No more contact with anybody at the watering hole or the bank of the hotel?
Nope. I think we're
Nope.
good. Unless they come to us.
All right. You don't see Bobcat. You know, he's under the care of the doctor, of course. You know, he took a pretty big hit. So, I mean, he's still under the care of a doctor. And day 4, morning gets here. You're able to do that. Of course, you know, Christine is writing and chatting, you know, telling Rufus more stuff, ignoring the rest of you all. And yeah, that's going to wrap up. Y'all, I think y'all put it a wrapping up point, hopefully, and maybe some revelations will come to light here in just a moment when I do my ending. But Mike, how's the story going to end for Owen as you all head out with a crack shot towards the next town?
Well, Owen is very happy with the $50 that he's made so far. And he's hoping that the other money comes through. And when he gets back to the farm, he will give it to Carolyn and the guy sleeping in the bed next to her. And and then Carolyn will convince him that perhaps he should be going into bounty hunting because he does better with getting money through bounties than he does through farming.
All right, perfect. Crystal, what about our brains behind the bunch? How's it going to end?
On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound from nowhere, there's an old gambler that shuffles into a cart. He meets another stranger there, and they begin to talk as the darkness sets in the window. And as the boredom takes them over, that stranger begins to speak. He says, "Now, son, I made a living out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. And for a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." And I think we know the story from there.
All right.
That's
Ellis is over. How about Daniel and Molly?
so, Molly is pretty happy with the life on the range, but all this talk of San Francisco, made her want to see the city. So once she's got the reward money, she heads up to San Francisco and decides to open an office as a private investigator. And she makes cards that say, "Have gun, will travel."
All right. And what about Nikki and Rufus?
Rufus, after turning in his bounty, decides that he's going to swear off women, hang up his hat and his scarf, and join a silent monastery for the rest of his life, so no one can ever talk to him again. That's what Rufus does.
All right. How about Jimmy, the cactus man?
So Jimmy, after riding around for a couple of years, he looks to. He's at home. He's an old man now, and he's telling these kids, "It's like you're all gonna listen when I tell y'all that y'all gotta take some risk in life, and if you stay home, then ain't nothing gonna happen." I left my home and went to China, and from there, I took the ship all the way to America, and that's why I had all these adventures over a good lifetime. Sure, I don't talk like I did when I first came over, but it's just part of life. And then he nods at the grandkids, and they're all looking at him. It's like, "Oh, so Grandpa, you were a gunfighter when you were young?" And he says, "Yep, that's what I did." And that's how we wrap up.
All right. Perfect. I will try to put everything together. If I forget something, we can talk about it after game. You make your way to the next town. You actually meet a couple of the local deputy sheriffs on the way. They take you back. Um, they take custody of the crack shot Christine. They put her in their jail until the U.S. Marshals arrive. The U.S. Marshals do arrive. They take custody of crack shot and take her back to San Francisco. You are given your $500 reward divided amongst you. You go on, report to, say, if you go to San Francisco and report, or if you report it there in the next town, however you do it, the government sends a battalion of troops back to Angel's Dance to figure out exactly what is going on. It is discovered and probably seen in the newspapers at some later point that the detachment there, they were not actually deserters. They were sent to Angel's Dance to actually build a fort. Going into the silver mine was something that a few of them did on their own at the direction of the lieutenant that entered the bar that day. It would find that him and the banker, Mr. Ellis, was actually in cahoots together to strip any more remaining silver from that mine, and hopefully we're going to get rich off of it. There was no actual government orders to go into the silver mine. There were 4 Indians that were found murdered by renegade soldiers. It was true. Bobcat was actually holding the peace between everyone, trying to keep it down. Luckily, the government agents were able to take Bobcat out there, and the peace was held, where there was not a retribution caused by the Indians against these renegade soldiers. The renegade soldiers were tried and found guilty and hung by a rope for murdering these Indians for no reason. We go to Crackshot Christine. She's sitting in a jail cell there in the U.S. Marshal's custody, and there's a guy next to her, and she hears the voice, and she thinks, it can't be him. And the guy starts singing, "There's going to be a hanging in the morning, and it's not me." Then we go back to the Sampson's watering hole where we see Harry, the bartender, and the doors swing open as a group of visitors come walking in, their first visit to Angel's Dance. As they walk in, he looks up and he goes, "Welcome to Angel's Dance. This is where the angels dance and the devils sing on the wind." This was playing in the light of the setting sun. And I would like to thank Mike, Crystal, Daniel, and Nikki and Young for doing an excellent job at this.